And welcome to Talks Around the Teapot live edition.
Yeah, so first of all, please bear with us. We have never done this live before, and if something goes wrong, we are babies. Please forgive us. Forgiven. So yeah, Lyndon will probably be hopping in and out to man the tech, but yeah.
And we're eating because I was working and didn't have time for dinner.
Banquet, very Regency core.
Got falafel and vegan duck roll.
Which we literally said we were going to do in Michael's Manor. And we're like,
Did
we'll do a banquet edition because
Oh my God, yeah.
dinner behind the screen.
That is so funny.
So we did it.
So yeah, this episode is going to be a lot of things. Because obviously we didn't do an official Talks Around the Teapot for any of Michael's Manor. So this is kind of our chance to recap Michael's Manor for anyone who watched and was interested in that. Sort of look back on Act 1, I guess, of Demons and Daughters, because we're moving into Act 2 next week, which is scary and exciting. And to drink some teas, because we ordered from Lucky Leaf Teas so long ago. And genuinely, when we were filming Act 1, because I remember we had them when we filmed the Moon Ball, because that was the first time we were really gonna do it. And then we played for 10 hours and were emotionally devastated and forgot, because fair. And really, ever since, something has happened on the day of filming. We've wanted so badly to have these teas on a Talks Around the Teapot for so long. But yeah, we're finally doing it, which is very exciting.
I think what the teas are.
Even longer than the moon ball.
Oh, it definitely was.
I remember saying, we can't, well, I didn't say it, but I remember someone saying, we can't have these until our classes are revealed. So it's before our classes were revealed.
Oh my God, and that was episode
19,
19, episode 18?
Yeah.
But we've got 2 teas, and they are class themed. We have a fighter tea and a sorcerer tea.
We do. And we have...
Excuse me? Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought we had a DM coming to sit with us. Oh, okay. We have a very cute DM looking really smug about something. I guess he's chatting shit about us in the chat.
Probably.
What's he doing?
We can't get distracted by it.
Oh, I've disconnected from the chat.
Oh, no.
Rude.
Anyway,
what
talk
are
about the teas while I reconnect.
Well, you've got them. Can I have what they're in?
Yes.
What they're in? What are in them?
Yeah.
So,
Here you are,
we have Russell. We
ASMR.
have Fighter's Fuel.
So that's in this.
In Morne's squirrel
Look
teapot.
how cute this teapot is. It's squirrels. Oh, let's zoom in. Look, it's got 2 little squirrels.
It's so
We said
cute.
that they are Agatha and Thomas.
They are, because if anyone remembers that one time Agatha and Thomas just had a chat about their future life and it was all farm animals on the beach.
And we also have Sorcerer's
Farm
Spice.
animals on the beach.
Farm animals on the beach. This is a black tea, which I'm very excited about, and Morne is very excited about because it's the only tea that they drink. No, not that one.
Oh,
The Fighter's Fuel is
That one.
is black tea.
Well,
This one.
black tea isn't the only tea I drink. It's just my
It is your
favourite.
favourite.
This one
This one
is
smells like
rooibos,
sorcery.
ginger, cinnamon, cardamom, black and white pepper, clove, and nutmeg, and I can't wait to try it.
Same. I'm so excited, especially because this is the one we got for Rosalind, for obvious reasons. And I'm so excited because it literally smells like magic. That's how I imagine the smell in the room is after someone has done sorcery. It's so good.
Oh my God, it is.
You know what I mean?
I'm really hoping...
you did such a good job with these because they really match the class, I think, perfectly.
If anything describes Taya as a tea, it is a black tea.
Yeah, it is. And kind of Agatha. And even though you guys obviously have very different subclasses, but it's still...
Obviously, my favourite is black tea, but I feel like Agatha, just as herself, is a chamomile girly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It was the only thing she was allowed to drink.
For you and been
Because it's
this will be
caffeine
good
free.
for your nerves.
Yeah. You're allowed nettle teas
pop
that
these
Martha
now.
went and picked the nettles from fucking places around.
Right, so I'm gonna pour myself some of the sorcerer's tea because
Should we all have a cup of that
I'm
first?
so excited about this. Tea ASMR. I would be having this in my little Rosalind cup, but that's just never enough tea. Fun behind the scenes fact, I'm actually never drinking tea out of my Rosalind teacup. It's always just my water cup. because it's
I
really,
can't remember
really
if this
small.
one's meant to like recommended with milk or not, because it's got rooibos in it. But
Yeah.
it's also got loads of spices.
That's what I mean.
You could try it with
Without.
Without, because we do
Yeah.
have a little jug of milk down here.
Yeah.
You're enthralled by this conversation, I'm sure.
Everyone's like, this is why we come to watch Talks Around the
Do you
Teapot.
want to say hi? Because you haven't said hi yet.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, I got the bitty bit in the end.
Well,
Okay.
extra nutrients.
So this is the sorcerer tea. Cheers.
It
Cheers
looks
to
really hot. I'm
Rosalind.
scared.
Yeah, I know. I
actually.
feel like we're gonna burn ourselves. If
I'm
we
gonna
try and do
wait.
this now.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, we have milk. So we can do what we want.
I guess Lucky Leaf teas can say whether or
we
not
have
it
just
needs to
coffee?
be drunk with milk or not. I don't drink tea with milk because I like the flavour to be potent.
It depends with me because a lot of like rooibos ones I don't have with milk.
I do.
But then every now and again I do. Do you know, like sometimes I want
Sometimes a
it.
milky rooibos
Yeah,
is really good.
but a lot of the times I don't want it because I
Milky
feel like
rooibos
it's
is what I
strong.
think tea should actually taste like.
I know what you mean.
Anyway,
The Viscount never drinks tea with milk.
nobody cares what the Viscount does. Should we
That
talk
said-
about Michael's Manor?
Yeah,
Before
let's
we
talk
talk about
Michael's Manor.
Demons and Daughters.
Yeah,
Should we-
I also do want to thank Lucky Leaf Teas because,
No,
thank you
really.
so much for being so
Yeah.
patient with us because, like, so long ago I messaged you and I was like, I've just bought some teas. I'm so excited. Oh my god.
I almost
And
dipped my
it's
falafel
been
in
so
my tea.
long. Yum. But like,
It's been so long.
thank you as well for sending us some extra little teas in our order. We are so excited.
I'm
and
so
I
excited.
will say, one of them in particular will be drank on another Talks, and I'm not just saying this and it won't be 10 months, but it might be because it will be drank when something else is revealed, because the type of tea it is relevant to something coming up in Act 2.
Relatively soon.
So something we have filmed. So we will be drinking that when that bit of plot has occurred on air.
I'm just gonna say fuck it.
It's good.
Yeah.
Oh, it is good.
Oh my
And for Morne
god.
to say this is good, it's got like 4 things that they don't like in it.
I don't like
Yeah.
ginger. I don't like cinnamon. I don't like nutmeg.
Do you like
But
gingers? That's why Agatha and Talia have beef.
Whoa,
Wow.
rude.
But I
What's
think
wrong
because
with me?
there are other things like mixed in it as well.
Yeah.
It's
I love spice.
Same.
Although my mouth is a bit on fire from this sauce, so I can't fully taste it.
yeah. We've got like 2 different types of spice right now. We've
We
got
do.
chili.
Really,
spice.
nobody cares about this.
Nobody cares.
I care.
Michael's Manor.
Michael's Manor.
Do
We
you-
haven't talked about Michael's Manor.
Do you want to talk about, because obviously you were the DM,
Yeah.
you came up with the story.
Although actually, let me just get my sheet of questions that people have asked us, because I feel like as and when they're relevant, I'll chuck them in.
Okay, cool.
And if anybody has any questions watching that you want to throw in the chat about Michael's Manor, Demons and Daughters, or just like in general at us, ask. And I have the chat, and I will be watching.
We'll do
you.
our best.
Or if Lyndon's still over there at the computer, he could read them to us like an interviewer behind the screen.
I could do.
But he's just sat drinking his tea.
What are your thoughts on that? No.
Good tea.
Nigel.
That was really Nigel, or it was just like a little orphan child.
It's very
Right.
Lucas core.
It was that good soup meme.
Yeah.
Around the kids.
Good.
Pass me that.
So,
Oh,
what?
The questions.
Oh no, because I'm
No,
gonna
no,
ask
any
them
questions
any that come in
up
on the
on
chat.
Right, okay.
So to start with Michael's Manor,
so to-
it wasn't going to be Michael's Manor.
What do you mean?
It's a completely different idea to what I initially went in with.
Tell us more.
Spoilers. No, it was gonna be because I wanted to keep it like on theme to Demons and Daughters. So I had a whole idea, I had a whole like world that it was gonna be in that was very like Demons and Daughters adjacent. It was very like it was still gonna be 1930s. But it was a completely different idea, and then I couldn't find all of the things to make it work properly, and it was gonna be like horror psychological thriller vibes. But I don't want to spoil it too much in case I do one in the future when I know what I'm doing a bit
No, that
more.
makes sense.
Because do you want to check on our food, Lyndon, actually, while you're over by the door? Because
I promise we don't treat Lyndon like our servant. We love and respect our DM.
but we're on camera, so.
yeah.
But yeah, basically there was one thing that I could find, but it was way too powerful to
Right.
put you up against at the level that I was willing to put all of you at.
Wow.
Because it was like challenge rating so high that I didn't do it.
That's fair.
And then this came to me as I was falling asleep in bed.
Nice.
That's so relevant.
Yeah, I know.
It's so interesting because like saying it like you wanted to do like a psychological horror thriller type thing.
I would have
What we
ate
ended
that
up
shit
with,
up.
I think, was so whimsical and like Narnia core. Like
Yeah.
anytime anybody asks me like what is the miniseries like, I'm like
It
Narnia.
felt very Peter Pan to me.
Peter Pan and Narnia are the
So
two.
your house, fun fact, your house was based off of either it was the Darling's
Yes,
house,
I knew
or
that, yes.
it was the house of the writer, and like they'd based the Darling's house off of it. Because I was really like, this is so Peter Pan core, that I was just like a nice little like tidbit in there. Like I changed it a little bit, and I like had to add on a room.
But that's how I pictured it. Was as the Darling's house.
Yeah, it was. Especially the like 3 children. And...
Yeah.
What?
Isn't one of the Darling children called... Oh, no.
There's one called Michael.
There's one called
Yeah, I
Michael.
was going to say Bobby, but I was like... No, but there is one called Michael and John.
John, that's the other one.
And Wendy. Everyone knows Wendy.
This tea is so good.
Like,
I'm
genuinely
living
is.
for this.
But yeah, we have some questions for you about
Okay.
Michael's Manor. We have some questions specifically for you.
DM time.
So Faye Earth on Twitter asked us.
Oh, we love Faya.
We love
We
Faye
bumped
Earth.
into
We love
them
you
at
so much.
UKGE.
Did we?
No? I'm wrong. I'm thinking of the wrong people.
Oh.
Wow. We UKG was a confusing time for us. We were very overwhelmed and there for like a few hours and met a lot of people.
We did not bump into them, in fact.
Yeah. Well, anyway, they asked Maijai, what was the hardest thing prepping the adventure?
Sausage roll.
That was the hardest thing about the adventure. This is so chaotic.
The hardest thing of the adventure, I think.
He's gonna stand there and just slowly make eye contact with us and eat all of our sausage rolls.
Oh well. They're really hot, and he's just burnt his mouth. Instant karma.
Also,
Just
him
can't put
helping.
them on the table. What are you looking for? Okay. The hardest thing I think was trying to prep the battles, which I didn't end up
As
doing
someone who's
very
never
well.
DM'd before.
Yeah, it was finding the stat sheets, which I did manage to do, but I didn't really have time or know what I was doing well enough to properly like look through and figure out all the different things that they could do, because I ended up having so many battle like potentials in there that I didn't have time to look over. And like I had to create this campaign in like what, 2 weeks? It was something like that. I think I did all of it in like a week and a half to 2 weeks. It was quite quick.
Yeah.
So I didn't have time to have gone as in depth with all of that as I wanted to. So why are our sausage rolls just on the other side of the room?
Carry on.
But yeah, I think that was the hardest. I think it was not being a DM and like not knowing all of that. And like I've not actually played D&D for that long. Like I have played Damsels. I did like one collab with Game Master Monday, and that's it. That's like all the D&D that I've played.
We played like a silly little campaign. We were in it, Lyndon ran it when we were at uni, but it was like
but that wasn't
very fun, silly, haha. Like it wasn't really playing D&D in my head. It was like sort of learning D&D.
Faye says they think you did a fantastic job.
Oh, so do I.
Thanks, I appreciate it. I tried to do the best I could with the knowledge that I had.
And I think you did. Because I think what you did really well was lean into what all of our strengths are as a group of like performers and players, which is like character, like whimsy, like quirky things. Like
this is one of the reasons why I didn't spend as much time on it, because I wanted the world
this
to
tea
be
is so good.
It is.
I'm really, really quite obsessed with this.
Because I spent way more time figuring out like what the story was going to be and the like finding ways of describing the places that you were going to be in. Fun fact, I did not plan inside the castle. I like forgot that was something that I needed to do. But I spent so long like figuring out the people that you were going to meet and how they would interact with you.
The satyr.
The satyr was made up on a whim as well. Apparently all of them were. The one that I was really set on was the Fae at right
the
at the
Guardian,
beginning, the Guardian. And I like looked into loads, like what kind of creature would be there, what that was, how you get through. I think I just did loads of research and things that really don't matter, but like I cared about, and I think will have then made it right for you guys.
Because that's the thing. I think the things that you decided like mattered to you as a GM then are the things that matter to us as players.
Yeah.
So it, you know, it all like.
And trying to like tie in some of the things that people had said about their characters.
I think you did a really good job with that.
Thanks. I know that I did with Jerry. I was always a bit worried that I was like then leaving the
but
other
I think
two.
that was like the point in the way.
Yeah.
I think like, and I don't know about Lyndon, but like I really enjoyed like playing Mina. I think one of my favorite things about the story is that like with Michael's Manor, like Jerry was so clearly the protagonist and meant to be the protagonist. And then there were just their two annoying younger siblings that they couldn't get rid of, who were just somehow on the adventure as well.
Because, like,
and that was so fun to
That
play.
definitely fueled a lot of the frustration for Jerry, because obviously
You knew you were the protagonist. You were main character energy.
because obviously I went into this campaign being like, oh, I'm gonna have Mina and Bobby, my siblings. But then the story came along being like, oh no, this is for you. Like the compass is yours.
Yeah.
You're
it
meant
is
to
all
go
for you.
through. And then I was like, so why are these two with me?
Hello.
Just go away.
Yeah.
And of course, in true sibling fashion, they don't listen to you.
Were
Siblings
we
never
more
listen.
annoying than we thought?
You were not. You were more annoying than my actual sibling. So, and that's saying
Bobby is
something.
more annoying than anyone.
Bobby is more annoying than anyone's sibling
Yeah.
has ever been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love him though.
Like I have
Baby
never
boy.
felt that type of frustration before, and I am literally the oldest child.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I was also really like, because it wasn't an active thought to like make Jerry the main character, but it was also very like Agatha doesn't really talk.
Yeah.
And I wanted to like give you a way of like having a character that then like had the space to talk.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, Agatha is so everything that Agatha is, and I love her.
I love Agatha.
But like,
She doesn't talk.
she doesn't really talk. Like we were watching over the recap,
Yeah,
and really
yeah.
half of it, like Agatha's just sat there.
But Agatha really has talked less as it's gone on, is something that I've noticed, because I do all the editing of like, so I
Yeah.
edited the recap video and I did our screener for Rainbow Roll Fest. Thank you everyone who like joined us
Yeah.
there.
Oh
and
my
supported
God.
us. We haven't even talked about that. Oh my
No.
God, we'll get to that. That's been an amazing. We're having a whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I editing all of that, like, and you know, I edit the TikToks, like I sort of look through all the footage, and it really is like Agatha at the start, like in Bloodlow, you did engage a lot more, and it's really almost like the more trauma she goes through, the more her walls have like come up and up and up. We've got
Maybe
sausage
have
rolls
our sausage
incoming.
rolls on the table. Why? You...
Just trying to ignore me. Be more professional about
What
it.
if
I'm
we
not
like
here.
stuck up,
invisible one.
stuck up Maijai's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just crew. I'm not here.
Can you? All right, crew. Can you?
It's like the hand from the Addams Family.
Oh, what? Like that one?
Was that necessary?
More than that.
You call that stocked?
Oh wait, no. I want some sausage rolls.
But,
Anyway.
Please.
But yeah, what was it? Yeah, Agatha not talking and
Yeah.
Jerry being the main
No,
character.
the scary thing is when I'm Agatha, like I physically cannot talk. I'm sat there and I'm like, I can't say anything. That's really weird. Thank you. Whereas Jerry, I was just like, I want to talk. And this was something that I found annoying with Lyndon especially, was that I was actually I was proper monologuing. I had fucking Bobby Bobbington interrupting me. I was like, just let me talk. For once, I'm talking.
Yeah.
But
Love
I
you,
really
though.
enjoyed that. Like as
Oh, that's still warm.
I think it was really fun as players to like play, because all of us. I mean, obviously for Lyndon to be a player was amazing, but like for the two of us especially to play characters that were really different and like occupied a different role in the group. Because like for me it was so fun to play a character who like didn't have to be on all the time, didn't have to be thinking about anything, because you were kind of the protagonist. Because like Rosalind always is so aware that like the other two don't fucking talk in like social settings, and she's always so aware that like
Okay. Imagine if Talia did talk and all
Well,
the
exactly. No, but this is what I mean. Like, it's not a bad thing. Like, it's just Rosalind is aware of what her place is in the group dynamic, which is the person that can make people like her, and like the person who has to sort of go in and do that a lot. Whereas Mina knew she was a little bitch and didn't want to be liked, and that was really fun.
I think it's time for the second tea.
I've not finished my sword series yet because I've been like really savouring it.
I really don't like strong tea, so I was just gonna pour mine before you guys.
That's fair.
Yours,
Oh, okay.
because I'm very like anti-strong tea.
That's fair.
You might want to leave it for longer.
But yeah, I have another question for you from Fate Earth about GMing, which was, what were you surprised to find out that was like easier than you thought? Like, was there anything you were worried about as GM that like was actually easier than you thought it was going to be?
I don't know. Not like coming up with characters, but I found it way easier to know what to say as like certain characters than I thought I might. And not that I ended up passing it on very well, but like I really clearly saw where everything was. Like, and I thought that it wouldn't be as clear as it was.
I think you made things clear. Like, I had really clear, but then I always have quite clear images of things in D&D.
The one thing about me is that I can't see things.
Oh yeah,
in my
I
head.
always forget this about you.
So it is really difficult for me playing D&D when people are describing things because I physically cannot see it. However, well, no, not that I saw it, but like it's the way people describe it. Like, I'm big on words and stuff. So if the words are beautiful, then I'm like it's the vocab that you use is how I see it, rather than actually like visually seeing it. And I thought that was really beautiful what you did.
Oh,
it's like reading an audiobook.
That was, so I did, for some of the places that I knew we were going to encounter, I wrote descriptions for. The one thing actually that I did find way easier to do than I thought it would be a struggle, but it was so easy, is I knew I had to figure out a way to like get you all to go on your like hero adventure. And I was like, okay, I'll do it as a dream. And I knew exactly what Jerry's dream was going to be. And I knew exactly how that was going to go. And then I thought that I was going to really struggle to give one to Mina and Bobby as well. But I was really like, I can't just give one of the siblings a dream and nobody else. But they actually, like, I just sat down to write them and I was like, oh, it's all done.
And they were perfect. The dreams were so good.
Yeah.
I was really excited about giving you guys your dreams, partly because I absolutely love being given a dream.
Yeah. And except when Lyndon does it and I just shit myself because I know it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, but even then I love it.
Same.
I love being given dreams, and I love D&D dreams and like everything because they always mean something.
Yeah.
And I thought that I would really struggle to like find a way, because I wanted all of you to have this like Fae-esque dream, so that you knew that like it was kind of an extension as well. Like, it wasn't just a Jerry thing. And I was really like, how do I give a boy who wants to be an Olympian a Fae dream? And then it just like, I was just typing and it came out and I was like, oh, that's how, I guess.
It was so good. It was so good. And I think you did do a really good job of making it so it wasn't just about Jerry, but like the way that you tied in our mother at the end with the way the story went, I think was so beautiful, because from the start, I don't know about you two, but like I did have a real sense of like the Feywild encroaching on our house in everywhere and like our home, and the fact that it was through our mother, and like I don't know, it just felt like it was really adjacent for all of us, and it like seeped through the cracks a little bit, like it was just a bit like under the floorboards, and we just had to like look for it and it would be there. So it wasn't necessarily just for Jerry, but it was like the whole energy around the Michaels family. It was just most strong in Jerry because of what the story was, but like it was in the whole home and the whole family, except Robert, because like who cares about Robert?
But it was so, the one thing that I really did have fun with was, because I had told them all like, you're not allowed to discuss your classes with each other.
Oh yeah. And then I told them the first thing about Mina, and I was like, do you think she might be a bard? Do you think it's a bit obvious that Mina might be a bard?
But the main reason that I was doing that is because I spoke to you two about what your subclasses were going to be. And both of them were like, there's really this big strong relationship to like the Fae and your stuff all comes from the Fae.
Yeah,
and I didn't want you guys talking about it because these guys all thought that it was going to be set in 1930, and I was like, just you fucking wait until you see where you're actually going. And I tried so hard to get Lyndon to take anything, and he was like, nope, this is what I'm being, or I'm not having any stats.
But that ended up being so Bobby core.
Yeah.
Like the fact, like it was so perfect actually that Bobby did have just less connection to everything. Like because it was just Bobby.
Yeah,
you
I
know?
don't think we specified like actually what we were in the thing.
Yeah.
So Jerry was a ranger with a subclass in Fey Touched.
No, your subclass was Fae Wanderer.
Yeah.
Oh.
Your feet
My
was
feet
Fae
was
Touch,
Fey Touched.
which spoiled another one of my plans.
Fine.
Huh?
What did it spoil?
I was going to level all of you up at the end, but you had to take the Fae Touched feet. was
Oh,
gonna be the
that
balance.
makes sense.
And then you took it, and I was like, oh well,
Yeah.
won't do that then.
Oh, rip.
Mina was a College of Glamour's bard,
Mm-hmm.
if you couldn't tell by everything about her. What was Bobby?
Bobby was a rogue, obviously.
Yeah, subclass, babe.
A subclass.
Mm-hmm.
Thief.
Thief.
I got it the wrong way around.
Bobby core. Which it kind of leads me in from what we were saying before. Fayath also asked, why did you pick the 1930s?
I think I'd settled on it from before because it was going to be sort of psychological thriller, and it wasn't going to be set in an asylum, but it was going to be around that sort of idea of like, am I going insane or not? And correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that was really prevalent, like women being sent off to insane asylums. And I didn't want it to be in the same time as Demons and Daughters.
Yeah.
I wanted a different vibe. I really like the clothes. I don't know, it just sort of came to me.
I'm
and
gonna
then
try the fighter tea.
Yes.
You pour yours first because I think there's not going to be a lot in there.
yeah.
And you should have the full cup because it's one, your favourite, and two, you are a
Oh
gunslinger.
wow, none for little Bobby.
No.
There you go.
Join us at the table, Bobby Bobbington.
There was a reason that I settled on 1934 specifically.
Yeah, I feel like there was.
I was Googling something.
Yeah. Thanks.
I have my laptop. I could figure it out, but I don't remember. There was a specific reason why I picked 1934 and not a different thing.
So this is fighter fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It's black tea. I believe it said it's a
I
Sam tea.
I can get the packet. Yeah, it's a Sam tea.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's. What did you think of it? 'Cause
It was
you-
really nice. It
I
was
might put
really
a bit of
good
milk
tea.
in mine because then as well we can get my verdict with milk and yours with
Yeah.
milk. Also, I just like milk in my.
I Googled major things
Oh. Yeah, that's good.
that happened. Wow.
Just put that quote on your Fighter Fuel review. Inaudible noise.
I give you
from
permission
Morne Putnam
to.
Trimmer.
You can post that as a review.
I want someone to make a gif of you doing that. That's how I feel when I roll a nat 20.
That is really good. Lyndon, do you want to try?
I left you a little drop.
Wow.
Yeah. Hey, I've only got a third of a cup.
And I think there was loads about because we created your aunt.
Oh my god,
And there was loads about he was
She never got mentioned.
Yeah.
she
What
was
was her name,
really
Margaret?
in suffrage and stuff.
Yes. Oh my god.
And
yeah.
I think it was something to do with that because I wanted it to be
Our vibe.
our
Which
vibe.
is historical female
women.
rage. Yeah.
And I don't know, I like the sort of aesthetic of it.
Yeah. That's fair.
And I thought it was modern enough that I have some understanding of it, but not so modern that it's
Yeah, I think it was a really fun vibe. I remember when you said that it was going to be 30s, I was really excited because I'm obviously somebody who loves history, and any decade you could have told me I would have got excited about. But the 30s isn't one that I'm necessarily as one of my big ones that I'm drawn to. But the minute I was starting to think of a D&D character in the 30s, I was like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
Because there's just such a vibe about it that like when you're creating a character that there is something really cool about it.
Yeah.
And so my immediate thought was like, oh, that was a really fun time for music and performance.
Yeah.
I want to be a bard.
Well,
like I'd wanted to play a bard in something for ages, and I was really like, oh my god, yeah, vaudeville bard.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's funny because before I picked Ranger, I asked Maijai if I could be a bard.
I
Maijai-
asked first.
You asked first, but I was like, well, 30s, like, this is where, like, talkies have just come out.
literally.
And I love old golden
Jazz
age
was
of
still
Hollywood.
huge in England at the time.
Yeah.
Like it had come over, and yeah, vaudeville was doing well. Like
Yeah.
music hall was huge. Like
Because, I mean, the first ever talkie, 1927, The Jazz Singer, and, like, that was a big film.
oh, this is good.
Mhm.
I like this.
And then there's all, like, the silent films, like Janet Gaynor. I can't think of any other 20s silent actors now. But yeah, Janet Gaynor, amazing woman, did, like, her films are really cool. So that's what I wanted, like, a more cinematic bard. But Maijai was
That
like,
would have been so
no.
cool.
I know, and I'm so sorry. But the thing is you asked me like 2 or 3 days after Taya had asked me, and like Taya's whole character had already been created by then.
Yeah.
So I was really like,
You can't.
couldn't-
that wouldn't be fair. would it?
yeah. And it was, I don't know, it was just.
But yeah,
I
hey,
don't
maybe
make
you'll
sense.
play a bard in something else at some point.
Maybe.
You should. It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah, I have a question for Lyndon. I don't know if you want to join us at the table for this one.
I've already changed the thing with the camera now.
Oh, well, silly, but okay, well, you can answer from there. Well, yeah, Faye, I wanted to ask you while we're on Michael's Manor, how did it feel being on the other side of the table? Because I think it's obvious you just had the time of your fucking life.
Am I going crazy? Where's the?
Yes.
Where's the?
Why has he moved
Why
it?
is the straw teapot gone? And when did you
were down
move
with
it?
I
But
don't know
when did it get moved?
Why
Why didn't you move this one?
why were none of
Yes.
us aware of it being me? I'm scared.
But why didn't you?
Eloise!
I was going to
Put
say,
that
can you refill them so that we can
Yeah.
have more tea?
Wow, what did your last slave die of?
Bobby, just shut up and do it.
Do you want to answer the question though?
What was the question? What was...
How did it... Lyndon, not Bobby. This is so answering the question for them. How did it feel being on the other side of the table?
I had an adequate time. It was fine.
Okay, Lyndon, not Bobby. Not Bobby. Lyndon, what was it like being a player with us and not a DM?
In some ways, it was quite difficult because I kept getting told off for having my head in the camera that I tell everyone else off for.
You literally did not get told off like once. You were told off when we were streaming it.
Yeah,
The way you tell Morne off in Demons and Daughters when their head goes in the camera for a split second.
It's because it's their job to do that. My job is to be DM. My job isn't to know what I'm doing.
In
over
this
there.
situation, your job was to be.
So by
playing.
your own rules, in this situation, your job was to also keep your head out of the camera.
No.
And
'cause
can we
I was moonlighting.
also talk about when the problem with my head being in camera? That was when we first started, and I didn't know
Oh my god,
these
no,
people.
stop. I feel so bad when you tell this.
So I was like, I have to make a good impression to these people.
Morne really
otherwise,
was like this the whole time.
Yeah, because now like I'm a bit more relaxed.
Like,
I
thank
can-
God you were playing Agatha, who's a character who was really like religion.
But I was like,
at first.
this. I was like,
That was my
this
impression. It was like
stranger.
It's very pretty.
I'm in a stranger's house who have graduated the year before me, so they're like superior in that sense. And like,
we
I know,
we hadn't even
but
graduated
think
yet.
about this is me as a second year acting student hanging out with the third years.
Oh,
like,
baby, I
this is
love
like-
you.
And I was just like really scared because I wanted to make a good impression.
Wow.
And then Lyndon was shouting at
I
me
forgot
for
about that.
having...
Sorry, Lyndon's just opened the door, wafted an apple strudel at us like this, and then closed the door again.
I forgot we put apple strudel in.
Yeah.
I'm well excited.
Top spit burn.
Yeah,
but, oh well.
so the fact that... But I'm more than happy to tell Lyndon off now because his head was in the camera and I think it's very unfair if he doesn't get told off. for
Hypocrite.
it.
Well, we've changed how the camera is.
Yeah.
When we first started, it was so like because
I
was getting in the
I
way.
couldn't do
Neither of
that.
us could move it like this way
Yeah,
very
you
much.
couldn't really do anything.
Which, like, for me, whose like hands are like this all the time,
Yeah.
wasn't a good time. The amount we kicked that camera.
It was bad.
Yeah. I
He's
created.
gone, but to fix the apple strudel before he's finished answering his question.
He loved it. He
Yeah.
very clearly loved it.
I think, yeah. I think Lyndon is somebody who, when he DMs Demons and Daughters, I think because it's such an like intense and intricate story, like it's obviously thank you.
Thanks.
Like Demons and Daughters obviously takes a lot of like
Planning.
time and effort and, you know, emotional intensity and like a lot of things being juggled at once, and then he just really like could let loose and be the most chaotic person ever and not think or care about anything, and I think it's really obvious that he had the time of his life. Strudel interlude.
Ouch.
Interstrudel.
Into strudel.
Do you have anything else to say for yourself, sir,
About what?
about playing versus DMing?
I prefer playing,
Yeah.
but nobody else is as good as me at DMing, so it
Well-
falls to me as always. Bobby just has to pick up.
We're not talking to Bobby.
Bobby here.
Well, we'll see.
What did you think of playing with me and Morne? Like, how was it with us as like a party? Yeah,
It was fine. It was fine.
it was fine.
I,
You had the best time
I
of your
felt
life.
people weren't joining me on my yes and adventure as much as I would like.
But like when we wouldn't let you kill yourself.
That the fact that my papa didn't smoke weed was very upsetting to me. Like everything was in his pockets, anything you could possibly want.
I let you get away with pulling so much crap.
No, that's
A copy
true.
of Winnie the Pooh.
Robert doesn't walk around with chocolate in his pocket either. Literally nothing that he
Winnie
pulled
the
out
Pooh, my lipstick.
was something that he would have in his coat pocket. And I allowed so
Bobby
much.
took it. That was Bobby.
Yeah, I know that now.
Bobby, where's your lipstick? For sure. That's
Good for
fine.
Bobby.
But
Yours
that
is-
was the other thing that was really fun, was exploring like the different queerness that we haven't been able to fit into Demons and Daughters.
Yes.
It was
How was that for
it
you?
was a couple weeks after I created Jerry where I was like, Maijai, Maijai, I have only
Taya's
ever
got
played
Jonathan.
I have only ever played
Taya's got the
female
curves.
characters. I would like to portray being genderqueer because I am. And Maijai was like, yeah, do it. So I did. And I thought it was really interesting to play a character who didn't have that language.
Yeah.
So it was really difficult to...
This is how we feel when we try and play lesbians in 1820.
Yeah.
Yeah, because obviously we have that language now, which even though we have that language, it's still difficult to
Yeah.
describe gender. So imagine if it's difficult today, how difficult it was back then when the term non-binary only referred to computers and not gender. So
I don't want those forks on these plates.
I'll just eat with my hands, to be
yeah.
honest.
yeah.
But that was,
Yeah.
sorry to jump in,
That's
but that's one of the things that I was really excited about, because you asked me about that when I knew that I was doing Fae stuff, where obviously like gender is really
What is
fluid.
fake gender?
Yeah.
Exactly, and everything that I was reading about was really like, there are these Fae that just like change their gender depending on their feeling, and like they change the way they look depending on this and that. And I was really like, I already knew that that was happening, and I could fit it into the story so perfectly when you asked, that I like got so excited about it. Yeah, because I wanted to ask how you felt about how I then handled it
Oh, yeah.
for like Jerry, because we'd spoken about the fact that obviously like
Yeah.
they didn't know that that's what it was, because they didn't have the language, because
Yeah.
nobody spoke that way. There was just this sort of like feeling of this isn't right and there's something wrong about it, which like anyone who's genderqueer understands the feeling, but like is really hard to put into words.
Yeah.
So we always knew that we were going into it with Jerry not having any idea.
Yeah.
And we didn't really come out of it with Jerry knowing it, but like,
That was the implication.
yeah.
I think if this was like modern day, Jerry would have been like, oh yeah, I'm non-binary.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I said, that term only referred to like computers back then.
You've actually
So-
just been asked, this is really on topic.
Yeah.
Did you find it challenging at all, like keeping your lexicon like in time period appropriate, and like, you know, because Jerry didn't know or have any words for it?
Yeah.
Like, was that hard for you?
Yeah, because obviously, and I find this hard with Demons and Daughters as well.
Same,
Like, there
yeah.
are so many words, like even the word okay. Like,
People said cool back then.
we use it. But the word okay didn't exist in the
Yeah.
1820s.
No, but it's like girlfriend doesn't exist in
Well,
the
yeah.
1820s.
Oh,
So
the amount in
it's
the
so
Moonball
difficult.
episode that me and you were like, my
Yeah.
girlfriend. I was like, they didn't say that.
Yeah, so it's so difficult to try and use words that I use and to not use words that I use on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So that's why that kind of like what's the word? Manifested itself in I also did with hand gestures where I was like, oh, I thought I'm supposed to be like that.
Yeah,
And
that was really good.
I can't really say, oh, I thought I'm supposed to be, I don't even know the words.
Yeah,
a woman, like, or I just want to be blank.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like that's just such a
But I mean, like, but that's a hard thing to try and put into concept. Like, to how, like, when people try and speak to me about it, like, I don't know about you, it's so hard to put into words in a way that people can understand.
because I don't understand it myself.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how to explain it to myself, let alone other people, let alone other people that aren't queer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes my genderqueer friends don't get what I'm talking about when I say
And
things.
sometimes when I talk to my genderqueer friends, I don't get what they're saying.
Yeah.
Like, it goes both ways.
Yeah. Experience.
Yeah.
So
and
like,
and then not even having the words that we now have.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what do you even say? But I think you did such an amazing job of it because, like, I think it came across. Like, and I think if you watch Michael's Manor back, like, even from like the first installment.
what?
Sorry, Lyndon's just stood.
He's standing like the man
He's sounding like Bobby Bobbington coming to our room in the middle of the night to tell us he threw up.
I threw
to
up.
boil the kettle. I've done that. What do you want me to do with the kettle
Fill up
now?
the teapots and bring them through.
With the same tea.
Yeah, we'll reuse it.
That's disgusting.
No.
Why? It literally had water on it.
Anyway, my point is that I think you did a really good job.
Well, thank you.
Watching it back, I don't know about you. Because I was so in it, like when we were doing it, I didn't realise like how. I don't know. I was watching it back and I was like, I feel very affirmed watching it back, which I didn't realise I was doing at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know about anybody watching it or like when you watched it back or when you felt it.
To be honest, when I was watching it back, I was a lot of the time I was like, oh my god, Jerry, get a grip. Just calm down. Not about the gender thing, about the siblings.
Yeah.
But like, yeah.
Yeah. But it is interesting. I think that's one of the most interesting things about telling like historical queer stories is finding that, because like I do think it's easier for Talia and Rosalind because it's more of a distinct thing. You know, like I don't know about you. I mean, it's obviously easier for you because you have had the most, like Talia knew, you know, what she was, I think, from the start, whereas Rosalind very clearly did not. But like it's the language, because like at least we can say like I know what I don't want and what it's different to be, you know, as opposed to Jerry being like this is what I am.
Yeah.
Because I remember like
That's not brewed at all yet, babe.
It's not.
Do you want to tip that back in?
This is Morne who spills something every episode of
Morne has just
everything we
spilled
do.
so much liquid.
I'm so triggered.
But no, like, you know, we've said, in, you know, because it's like, I'm supposed to love you, like, I love you like I'm supposed to love my husband.
And everybody made fun of me for that line.
No, but it's genuinely
like,
how else
there was nothing else she could say. It was like, I know that's how, this is how that's supposed to feel.
Yeah.
And the big one that I always think of with Demons and Daughters is the episode where Rosalind realised that she was a lesbian, because the thing that was really funny was that like from the start, no, it's complicated, but like Rosalind knew that she loved Talia, but like she didn't know what that meant, you know, and she didn't really have a frame of reference because she also didn't know what like heterosexual love was supposed to be because she didn't know. So like I remember being like, the conversation they had when I was like, do you feel the same about women and men, and do you know, and do you understand what that is? And Talia being like, yeah, and Rosalind being like, yeah, I don't think I could feel about a man the way I feel about you.
Yeah.
And like, but at least that's something physical to say, whereas with something like gender, like, what do you know what I mean? Like, what do you say that's solid? Because like, that's a fact, you know, Rosalind realising that was like a solid thing.
Yeah.
Whereas that's like, gender is so like, you know,
It's so.
but it was really good to like witness.
Yeah. And yeah, I loved playing Jerry. It was great.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I created so much background lore that like nobody's ever gonna know.
Share some now.
Like the whole, because the
I'm gonna have a look through my questions and see if I've got any other Michael's Manor ones.
the 1930s that you were in wasn't our 1930s. It was like a different one. And it was one where like everybody knew that there used to be fairies.
Yeah.
Everybody knew that there used to be magic in the world. And then something happened to stop it being like a prevalent thing. And I was trying to work out like what it was that happened. And I don't think I fully decided what it was. But part of me was really like, I don't know, I was really like, maybe whatever happens in Demons and Daughters is the thing that happens in that world, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Where like we're being overrun by demons, like the Fae were taking over too much space. So something happened to like
that's really
shun
cool.
them back out.
I like that a lot.
Is kind of what felt like happened.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, because they're fairies and because everything about the Feywild starts to like become fuzzy when you've not been there, it became like these fairy tales and these stories that like everybody knew but like nobody really believed anymore.
Yeah.
But it was something that like years and years and years ago everybody knew for fact.
That's interesting.
That's very cool. I do have another question about Michael's Manor. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but I love you because you're amazing.
Saoirse?
Sabha.
I don't know.
Sabha? I don't know. But anyway, I love you. You know who you are. I know who you are. You're very cool. What level were the Michael's kids? Because obviously we had insane bonuses and to like a lot of skills. Like Bobby was a tank.
I was a budding Olympian.
Yeah.
Bobby was well mad that I didn't let them have the lucky feat, which I also hadn't let you have.
Yeah, I wanted lucky and I wasn't allowed it.
Yeah. We were level
7.
7.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna
You wanted to level us up to 8, didn't you?
Yeah. I was gonna get you to be 8 and then give you.
We were level 7, but like I just think, I don't know about you, but like I remember me and Lyndon like rolled our stats on the same day, and we both rolled like insane on a lot of the, like we were doing some really high rolls. Like your rolls for Bobby's stats were mental. Like it was so high.
That's because I cheated.
You did not cheat.
Did I?
I guess we'll never know. Yeah.
I had to cheat on the hit points because I had.
You didn't cheat, you just did it wrong the first time round.
I got like
Morne
12 hit points, and I'm like, Agatha has more than this. So
Morne messages me and they're like, I don't understand what everybody's doing. They've got like 50 hit points and my level 7 ranger only has 12 hit points. And I was like, I don't know what you've done, but you've done it wrong.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you've rolled or where you're getting your numbers from. Here's what you're meant to do. And then you came back and you're like, oh yeah, I've got like 52 now, or whatever it was.
That's so funny.
But yeah, that was quite scary because I was like, that's not right, surely. Because like,
Imagine.
That's not right.
imagine if I kept quiet about it as well.
Imagine you would have died.
Yeah,
And then it would have been a very different game, totally.
yeah.
But like you had like Bobby had like a +9 to like so many skills. Like what was giving you that? Like, because I think like your whatever feat you had gave you loads. Like
Expertise.
oh
It's
yeah,
just a rogue thing.
you had actually loads. You just like Bobby was insane. But then Mina was insane. Like Mina had like a +7 to a bunch of things.
The best thing I ever did was vaguely suggest that it would be cool if you all played siblings.
Yeah, you really ate with that one.
Yeah.
You really gave us something to latch onto, and we really like ran so far with it.
Mm-hmm.
I find it funny
I
how,
want more of my sorcery.
because I'm the youngest out of the three of us.
That's a good colour to me.
And yeah, I was playing the
Look how
oldest of the
beautiful
Michael
that is.
siblings.
You're the youngest out of the 4 of us.
Oh, I meant the.
Oh,
Well, I mean, I am the youngest out of the 4 of us. Only by a couple months.
Wow, I spilled loads.
Yeah,
I did a
loads.
Morne. Oh my god. I
But
don't normally do that.
I mean, I have experience with being the eldest child,
Yeah.
so that came into fruition. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Fruition? Yeah, a lot.
Warm.
Just the frustration of being the eldest. If you're not the eldest child, eldest children are the strongest soldiers. I'm putting that out there.
Jerry Michaels is the strongest soldier for putting up with Mina and Bobby, to be honest.
Oh, hello.
Oh, you joined us.
Well, yeah, but we're students. You can't sue me. I just want to say, was not Jerry the oldest person? The most annoying sibling.
Okay, let's
No.
put it to chat.
Because my God, how annoying were they?
We've
Why
already
wouldn't they
had that
listen to
because
us?
I'm the oldest.
Oh my
Jerry,
God,
1934,
yes.
constantly.
It was the worst.
No,
Like,
I-
we get it, you're the oldest. Now do something. No.
I was trying.
Yeah, you were
watching-
very
the thing is,
trying.
Watching it back, I felt really bad for Jerry. Like, as a viewer, I felt really bad for Jerry. As Mina, I just didn't give a fuck about anything, and I'm really sorry, but, like, I was not in control. Like, Mina was a feral, rabid little creature. I don't know what she was. Mina was so much more deranged than I thought she was going to be honest. And I'm sorry, because, like, that was a difficult person to be around.
Yeah.
But, like, you would have a really annoying older sibling. And I think the thing with, I don't know about Lyndon, but, like, yeah, like, as Mina, every time you were like, because I'm the oldest, I was like, yes, and? Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, what? Okay, I know that. Who cares?
my favourite bit.
I want to say I'm an only child. But, like,
It came through.
yeah.
My favourite bit of the whole thing was, you have to go outside. It's going to be muddy out there. Yes, well, I go outside. How do you think I get to the club?
Yes, but you go to the clubs and this is the outside. And Mina's like, how do you think I get to the club? Like, what do you think my life is, Jerry? Like,
That was the most iconic thing.
Mina, it was rabid, to be
Yeah.
honest. And Bobby was worse.
Yeah.
Who was the worst sibling? Me or, yeah. Thank you. I thought so.
Nonsense.
Because the thing is,
Bobby
Mina,
Bobby kept you guys alive.
Mina was deranged, but
No.
she knew when to
because-
shut up when she had to.
You would have all made it through the doorway if you didn't turn around and stop. You literally would have. As DM, I can tell you for a fact, you would have made it through the doorway without having to have a
I'm talking
battle.
about the entire thing. The fights and the everywhere.
The fight's in there everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, actually, if Bobby hadn't have been there, all of them had spells to get themselves out of.
Yeah,
Out of the
I
dungeon.
think, right, this is what I think. I think as you played Bobby was in your head, like, you just think all of
Character
Bobby's
lead.
thoughts, so, like, you see only Bobby's perspective, you don't, and because Bobby doesn't bother to think about his sister's perspectives, Bobby only sees what he thinks, which is that he
Character
could have
lead,
saved
yeah.
everybody, but, like, had Bobby seen the full picture and wasn't a, like, 13-year-old
Stupid.
whingy little boy, like, he would know that he couldn't have done that, and his sisters
Yeah.
were never gonna leave
And
him.
Lyndon, what number sibling are you?
What
In
number?
real life.
In real life.
Oh, I don't talk about my family.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, are you the oldest or the youngest?
That's still talking about my family.
Okay, fair enough. All right, fair.
I
Yeah.
really like all of the above.
Yeah. But you were the DM,
What?
so it's fine.
I am no, but I just mean in my real life too. I think
That's
I've
what I mean.
yeah. I have been the middle, the oldest, the youngest, and the only.
Bobby's
Wow.
insanity made perfect sense for the younger sibling. Yes, it did. Bobby isn't actually a character, it's just Lyndon's true thoughts.
No, literally.
What if Lyndon's internal monologue is just in the Bobby voice? Because now I actually think it is. Now I'm looking at
Bobby's
him.
taken over.
Bobby has taken over. In my head, I'm imagining, like, Inside Out, but, like, it's all your D&D characters. And, like,
Oh my
Lyndon,
God.
Bobby is just there, like, in the like, main bit.
Yeah. Bobby keeps like shooting all the others, and he's like, "Get out of the way! I'm gonna be an Olympian."
No, every single one of them is Bobby.
Bobby dressed up in a different outfit.
Yeah, like one has a little moustache, one has a
Yeah.
little hat.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was so fun.
It was so much fun.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I am glad. I will say, I am really glad that I'd had like a practice run at being a DM
Yeah.
before I did a
about
real
this.
DM thing.
Like, how did it compare and feed it? Like, your experience of DMing that half an episode of Demons and Daughters versus this.
I mean, they're so different that it's kind of not comparable.
Yeah.
But it was like that was a practice because I didn't have to plan any combat.
Yeah.
I didn't have to plan any story.
Mm-hmm.
But all I had to create was the world, which I already knew because I have all of Talia's memories.
Yeah.
And the tests for you to get
Yeah.
through.
The
Which
test
I
I
had
just failed every single one
so
of them.
much fun in. I had so much fun creating those.
Can I have a bit of studio on this because I don't want it on that.
Yeah. It was so fun. But it was really just to like get any of those nerves about being the DM, about being the one that
Yeah.
leads it, about having like being in a different space and like me being the one describing everything, it was nice to have had that in a way where like there weren't really not limits, what do I mean?
Boundaries? Like
No,
restrictions?
like outcomes.
Consequences.
Because I mean, and like there were, but this world that I was creating was a very safe world because it was her happy place.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So it was nice to sort of get any of the like, I don't really know how to do this out of the way in something where I actually didn't have to worry about having a whole story and all of that to happen. So
were you nervous before you did that episode of Damsels? Like, I'm sure we talked about it on that episode of Talks, but like...
I was, but I just was also really excited.
Yeah, that's fair.
I think I just sort of, any anxiety that I had, I just like shifted to be excitement. I was actually the most anxious that we weren't going to get it right when we did the swap over to get your reaction.
That was so good though.
Yeah. Or that like I was going to spoil it before it happened. Because I wasn't really concerned about... The only worry I had going into that one was whether you'd be able to convince her to leave, or... Because she was going to try and convince all of you to stay.
Yeah.
But then, like, the state that Rosalind was in, there was just no point in even trying that.
Sorry, guys. My girl's a mess.
Yeah.
But yeah. What was everyone's favourite moment from Michael's Manor? Or, like, your favourite thing about it?
Not my favourite
I don't think anyone specifically has asked that. Like, I just like it when we talk about
Yeah.
it.
My favourite moment, I think it was like when Jerry and Josephine met for the first time, and it was like the Spider-Man meme being like,
that was so
like,
good.
what? Hello, who is this?
I really enjoyed the confusion around
the
that.
confusion and like having to be like, oh, we could be twins. And she's like, well, obviously.
Josephine was a little bitch.
She fitted into the Michaels family perfectly.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, to be honest.
So I think
do you know what's really weird about me creating Josephine is I really didn't even consider that Jerry would be like, that's what I'm supposed to be. Really didn't even cross my mind.
Well, I was like, you know, I'm playing a non-binary character, and then you're putting
It's
this
your
very
twin who's more feminine.
yeah, you're
like...
putting you've got me, and then you've got a feminine version
Yeah,
of me
because I
in
was
the mirror.
like, you're different. You're not the same, but like you're still siblings.
Yeah,
but I think
obviously
because
I didn't know I was going to have a twin. That was the last thing on my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true. I think
that's
because
true,
I had set like the first thought that I had about when I started creating Michael's Manor instead of the other one that I was making was like a baby had been stolen and you had to go and get them back.
What?
Sorry, I just need to read from the chat. Maijai not remembering the word consequences is so Talia because Talia does not think about consequences.
Who said that?
Fred.
Like,
Fred's about to be kicked out of a show. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Rude. Very rude.
Wow.
Very rude.
Anyway,
Talia took over.
Favourite moments. Yeah, that was a good one.
yeah. What about you?
I enjoyed meeting the Queen of Hearts. That was my favourite. It's like facing off against them and really like establishing dominance. I was the alpha male.
Yeah,
they knew it.
Yeah.
Sure.
They were this close.
Because you didn't go to
Coming
fucking
from
dungeon.
Muppets.
You didn't go to fucking dungeon.
No. I killed all her guards.
Can I say my
walked away.
favourite moment was
That's what
I'm
I
not
left.
going to fucking dungeon, I'm only 14. No, actually, what my favourite moment is, I have two. One is the whole debacle when we realised Carmichael was bullying Bobby. Because I think it
I'm
was
going to kill my Carmichael, aren't I?
I think it was just really nice because obviously the whole time we'd been having this like chaotic, insane sibling rivalry and arguments, and that was the first time you're like, oh no, they love each other though. Like,
Yeah.
'cause the immediate like, well, we'll kill Carmichael. Like that's not going to happen anymore. Was really good, and it was nice to see like a more vulnerable and like real side of Bobby that wasn't just like chaos. And I also liked that then became like the whole smoking bit where Mina kept like giving her cigarettes to everyone else.
We do not condone
One of my favourite quotes is, I don't care he's killed people, he's not drinking alcohol. as if murder is better than alcohol.
Literally, there's another one where you're like, when I like put the cigarette in Bobby's mouth and he coughs and you go, well now you've killed him. It's so good.
That's my favourite line of the whole thing. Well, you've killed him.
It's like, drink the nice Fey water, Bobby. You're fine, whatever.
We just got 2 new subs from Ancient Ark and your boy Dingus.
Yay! Thank you.
Love you.
Your boy Dingus only used his Prime one though, so shame on him.
Them.
Them.
Fair.
Your boy Dingus is a dingus.
Is there
kidding, thank
anything
you.
else in the chat?
My
Anything that's been said? In
my
the chat?
favourite moment.
Sorry.
My other favourite moment was just Bobby's descent into madness.
Yeah.
It was fun.
The first time you were like the playing cards and we were like, the what?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and France.
Oh my god, but
Marseille. Marseille is my other favourite moment. It's tied actually.
Marseille?
It was just the way I could see in Lyndon's eyes. Like I could see the moment he like lost ability to speak when I made eye contact with him and I was like, Bobby, where do you think we are right now? Like I could see his whole face like going. No, and when you start going like, we are not in France, we are not in Russia, we are not in China.
The funny thing is, Russia didn't exist then.
Oh my god. People said cool back then.
Yeah. So, Jerry is a time traveler, confirmed.
Sorry, what was your favourite moment, my darling?
My favourite moment was playing the Guardian and knowing that they were a challenge 22 and had power word kill, and Bobby trying to like square up to them, and they were really like, I could kill you in 1 word and you would die. That was fun, and I really liked giving each other our names.
That was so cute.
That was my favourite
Your
bit.
boy
Oh my
Dingus
God.
just called me on my shaming of them.
Wow, what is going on?
Are we having beef?
What?
Your boy Dingus is gifting tier 1 subs to everyone.
What's
Thank
that?
you.
Oh, Wing Women is in. Hello, that's cool.
What
I
does
hadn't seen you
gifting a
before.
tier 1 sub mean?
It means I gave everyone a month's subscription.
Oh, I
That's
love
so-
you.
Oh my god, thank you so much. That's so sweet. You're the
cry.
best.
Love
And
you.
also, Ancient Ark also gifted someone first, but they went to Maijai because it assigns them automatically just to random people.
Right, so you're now a sub of your own channel. You have to subscribe.
Well, I think you're one of Fred's.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm not in the chat.
I'm also not
Oh
in the
my
chat, so I don't know how that
God.
happened.
Yes, you are.
I'm literally not.
Yeah.
So maybe it's because you're like a top fan because you're always in the chat.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't know how
know.
Twitch works really, like, in
Um,
that sense. But thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
That's
what's
so-
little subscriber party going on right now? That's so
Cute.
sweet.
It was so fun, really being like, I could kill you.
Yeah, that's my. I know we've sort of talked about it quite a lot, but like to flip that question from earlier to Lyndon on its head, what was it like being DM versus player?
What did you do?
It was really fun.
And like being the other side of the table.
Oh, have they been off the whole time? Rip.
I don't know. It was really good. I think I would enjoy it more if I had more knowledge. I didn't like when somebody kept trying to backseat DM and try to take control of things when it wasn't their game.
Yeah. Literally, when inevitably I will be DM, if you even say one thing, I'm just gonna start crying.
No, because
you
I
need
had
to-
already like preemptively been like, if I'm doing it differently, it's a choice.
Yeah.
Your whole thing about fucking, oh, you've got to like reciprocate with the fan. I'm like, yeah, that's literally happening.
I was bringing the chaos.
You did certainly do that.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I did do that.
I did really enjoy it. I really enjoy being a DM.
Do you want to DM more?
Yeah.
Faye Earth asks, were you tempted to use your position of power to get some revenge on Lyndon? That's me.
Yes.
I kind of did.
But
But you did
yeah,
not.
but Mina did.
So you were tempted but resisted.
Yeah, but I like the best thing that could
Wait,
have happened.
you're not
happened.
Mina, you're Taya. Taya did.
I mean, Mina did.
Well, yeah.
But Mina didn't realise it was revenge for somebody else.
Yeah. But I also, like, I did want to get revenge on Lyndon, but I also think if I was going to do that, I would do it in a home game.
That's true.
You know,
you
because-
kind of did.
I did do
We
that.
played a home game
I did do that.
not long ago that I DM'd. And yeah, Maijai really destroyed Lyndon in that. To
I
be
did.
honest.
I really sent
Quite
him
literally
absolutely
obliterated
dooley.
him.
This, that means that I'm the only one that hasn't DM'd yet. Because
Yeah.
you DM'd a home game.
Yeah.
and I have done
Morne's
nothing.
doing the next between Act 2 and Act 3, I
Yeah,
think.
we'll have another little like one shot after Act 2, which is going to be a long way away.
I haven't told these three anything about it.
I'm excited though.
I'm very
Because
excited.
your mind is a very interesting place,
Yeah.
and I think it's going to give us a really
Yeah.
unique adventure, and I'm really excited.
I hope so.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Don't get your hopes up.
But yeah, I just think that and the story that we were in, like, because I wasn't doing a horror psychological thriller thing anymore. I mean, it ended up being fucking psychological for Bobby. But like, because that wasn't the general vibe of the show, like, I'm actually not gonna be like, okay, they just kill you.
Yeah.
Because that's really not the vibe. And that's not who that character was. Like,
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite things about it was because some of the ones that I were playing were like eons old.
Yeah.
Like, it just wasn't worth their time.
No, we're like bugs to them.
Yeah, like one of my favorite things was Bobby thinking that he was like, oh, and me really just being like, you're literally a bug.
Yeah, I really enjoyed when you were like, I've seen Olympians live and die. And he was like, I'm going to win a gold medal.
Yeah.
On the flip side, I really enjoyed Mina kind of knowing that these people were like so far and just like not giving a fuck.
Yeah.
Because she kind of had the same feeling, but it was because it was just like, what are you gonna do to me? Like, you're so like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
But yeah.
If you want dark, then we just do a sequel.
Yeah.
No, because I was thinking I would love to do something where we pick up with the Michaels kids as adults.
No,
and
I
see
really want to do
what
that.
came of them all, and
Me
like
too.
how their
Yeah.
adventure affected them, like whether or not they achieved all their dreams that they had, like whether Jerry married like that man.
Oh,
her
God,
parents,
Philip.
Philip.
Yeah. I really
Oh,
want
God.
to do that.
Because I can see so vividly what Mina's adult life turns out like. I know what happens to her.
Bobby's
So
in
clearly.
an institution.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, where is everybody ended up? Because Bobby,
Don't give too many spoilers, we might actually play it.
But how many years are we talking ahead? 10 years?
See, I was thinking like,
Because 10 puts us all in our like 20s.
Yeah.
I thought you were all like in your 30s when like
Yeah.
wherever we pick up.
No, I mean, to answer my question, 10 years ahead, where are you now? 10 years? 20 years? 30 years?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. So if you're
That's what
in
I'm
your 30s, then 20 years.
But I'm not asking when we pick up. I'm asking if we do it again. I'm saying,
When we
where
play.
do you see... No, I'm just saying, where do you see yourselves at X time? So am I saying, do you want 10 years, 20 years? Which
I think I'd pick
decade?
20.
20 years. Okay, so Bobby would be almost 44. No?
No. Almost
It
34.
really doesn't matter. You stopped counting a long
I know.
time ago. Bobby, so Bobby has been...
Bobby is 100% in World War II giving a good old crack at Jerry.
Nice little Spitfire joke there.
No, Bobby...
Bobby would not have been seen fit to fight.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
of his like Faye ramblings.
So Bobby was moved into a home for quiet living, shall we say.
Mhm.
And he sits beside a large bay window in a chair with a blanket over him, with a cup of tea that sits beside him every day that cools down before it gets replaced.
Not hot chocolate.
No, but he doesn't drink anything other than water when it's like fed to him anyway. He's basically catatonic. And just he'll make eye contact with you, but he doesn't speak. And I guess the parents, the sisters come and visit him sometimes, but probably they're too sad to visit him too often. And honestly, he doesn't notice.
I think
And he just sits.
if we do a sequel, it's about like bringing Bobby back to life, and
Yeah.
like maybe we have to go back to the Feywild to like heal Bobby.
But Bobby
Yeah, but
never
Lyndon
picked
will
up the
just
phone
refuse to like let that happen. He'll just be
But-
like, no, he's catatonic forever.
Yeah, but if he is catatonic,
We can do what
we can do what we
we can
want.
be like, Bobby, come on, let's go.
Or just put him in I'm going out to my chair. Just put him in a wheelchair and wheel him back to the Feywild.
We're all obsessed with the Secret Garden. That's what that is. I think, yeah, I would love to do a sequel with them as adults.
Yeah. Well, because that was it was when I was like, I really want you to all be young, and like the initial thing, everybody sort of thought that I meant like 20s, like in their 20s or something. And I was really like, no, like I want you to be children
Rip.
to... Oh. You did have some though.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's like my third cup.
Because like I just think it would have been such a different story if you were all older, and I really wanted you to be like children going into the Feywild. Because if you were adults going back into the Feywild, it just would have been different. It would have been about like reclaiming your childhood or something.
Which is why I want to do a sequel.
Yeah.
Because I can see that like Bobby needing it, I can see Mina needing it like when she's an adult, and I can see Jerry because like.
And you know who else would come with you?
Yeah.
Lillian.
Oh yeah.
That would be so
family
nice.
vacation.
I think we should do it.
I wonder if I would.
Maijai's having DM thoughts. Interesting. But yeah, I want to do that. I think
it's decided.
Oh, I need to do my one shot first.
Yeah.
God, I need so much time to figure out whatever it is that you're doing.
In my head, that's like maybe that's after we've finished Demons and Daughters. Maybe that's
like it's far away.
Yeah,
it's a nice little callback.
Maybe
we should do it in 10 years.
Bro.
No, I don't want to wait that long.
I will be doing a one shot.
Will you? This is news to us.
Yes, but it will be triggered by an event in Damsels, and will not be in the breaks. It will close Damsels off to do a one shot and continue.
What?
That's just what.
I have a theory. Can I say my theory, or am I
No.
not allowed in case it's correct?
No. Keep
You
your
can tell
mouth
us your theory later.
I will
shut.
speak to you.
No, because that's boring to watch.
Okay.
What might be fun though, in the chat, talk about Lyndon's theories for Lyndon's and theories for mine. And see if anyone gets it right.
I'm intrigued. I am intrigued.
I'll give a heart to whoever gets it right or is close.
Everybody's gonna go mental.
We've been streaming.
Oh no, the fire alarm's going off.
You want to go and sort that out? Lovely.
That's so loud.
Welcome to being on live with Damsels and Dicestress, and the fact that surprise, our studio is actually in our living room.
What?
Oh, it's going more.
What is happening?
We'll edit it out.
It's done. It's sorted. It's fine.
Fucking
Are there any
welcome
other...
to having a studio in your living room.
Yeah. Are there any other Michael's Manners things to speak about?
That's what I'm trying to think of, because I have a lot of other questions that are just general ones and Demons and Daughters ones. So I'm intrigued.
Does anybody in the chat have any more?
Yeah, is there anything else before we wrap up from Michael's Manor that anyone wants to know?
Josephine was fun.
Josephine was a
Josephine, well, yeah, but like, so were we.
Yeah.
But Josephine, like...
But like Mina doesn't care, so...
Such a surprise. When it was like... She just showed up and I was like, hello?
I was really worried that it was a really predictable story, so that's cool.
I didn't even...
No, I thought we were changelings for a bit. I thought that Jerry and Mina were changelings and Bobby wasn't, based on your dream of like the two babies.
Well, yeah, because now that I think about it, obviously if the two babies are the same age, they would be twins. But like in Jerry's mind, it's like, oh, I have a younger sister, so obviously that would be the younger sister.
Yeah.
But we do have another question from Taya, which is a really fun one, it was on my list and I didn't see it because it was written badly because I can't read my own writing. But was, because obviously it was set in Feywild, was anyone tempted to play a warlock with an archfey as a patron?
So they didn't. The players didn't know that it was going to be in the Feywild.
This is the thing. Had we known, I do think we all might have made choices informed by that.
Like,
and I'm kind of glad we didn't know.
Like,
because that would have been so cool. But like
being Fey touched as my feet, that was just like, I picked that.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So you did that with was that not influenced by you?
No.
That's so cool. I really thought
but we'd already decided on Fey Wanderer.
Yeah, because Maijai was like, oh, this might be really cool. And so I was like, yeah, I'll do it.
So you did suggest that.
Yeah.
But there was one class that I said everybody couldn't be, and I think actually Warlock would have been on there too.
Because of that.
Because so I said nobody could be a wizard because wizards have to learn their craft, and there's no way that any of them would have been able to do that. you just wouldn't have had the time or the access
Because
to
it
anything.
took place in like less than 24 hours. So.
Yeah, but and I mean, like having pre-existing knowledge of it, and I think similar would have been done for a warlock, because how would any of you have made
a pact?
That pact.
Bobby would have.
Bobby, oh my god, Bobby would become a warlock.
By accident, just someone who talks
Yeah.
on the streets.
Yeah.
Bobby would just like agree to something and not
And he'd be
realise.
like, oh yeah, I just have these powers.
Accidental warlock.
Bobby joins a pyramid scheme.
I feel like Mina would as well, like if she was offered, because she'd just be like, all right then.
Yeah.
Because that's.
Well, I think if we started the game with none of you having a class,
Yeah.
and all of you finding your class,
that's a cool concept.
Oh, I was waiting for you to finish.
Okay.
but like,
Well,
that's something that could have been that's a fun idea to use in the future, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yes.
C'est sa vie. I presume they have a French accent, so they ask her.
It's Madame Beatrice.
Favorite thing you would do as favorite thing you got to do as the Michaels that you didn't get to do as the Damsels?
Fun.
Yeah, I was gonna say, not be terrified all the time. I like I know that's not really like a thing I got to do, but like it kind of is, because like just behave impulsively. Like Mina and Rosalind are so on different ends of a spectrum that like when I say as Rosalind, like I'm terrified at the table non-stop. Like I didn't realise how scared Rosalind was all the time until I played Mina, who feels no fear when she really should. Like they're both really extremes, because sometimes Rosalind is scared more than she should be. And most of the time Mina was way less scared than she should have been. Mina was sat in front of like the Fey Queen and she was just like, yes, hello, I don't really know what's going on here and I don't really care and I'm going to keep smoking my cigarette, but all right then. And like even the way Mina was the first one through the door, because she was like, I'll do it then. Like, because she's interested and she just does things. Whereas Rosalind is so, like, there's so many layers of, like, restriction that she puts on herself, and she's so scared of everything, and, like, and obviously it's such a different world and, like, tone of show, but, like, genuinely just playing a character that was so different, like, getting to make the impulsive choices and, like, try stupid plans. Because Mina tried some stupid shit, which, like, as Rosalind, like, she just would never, you know, try, because Rosalind just doesn't trust herself or her ideas. Mina trusts herself too much.
That was something that I had as well. Like sometimes when Agatha has a plan, I'm like, should I do this or not? Because if I do it, we might die. and obviously with the one shot, there's less of a commitment to those characters. So if they die, like, so what? It's a one shot. Whereas if one of us dies, that's like the campaign, like,
devastated.
Yeah.
But like
the whole campaign takes a whole different.
Because that's if Agatha dies, I'm gone. I'm not playing. I refuse to play another character. So
it'll just be the two of us.
Like that's why
you get done. We just cry and cry the whole time.
That's why Agatha cannot die, because I'm no longer part of the show.
I didn't know that this was.
That's so funny.
I am not making another character. I am.
Oh, you just are.
I'm scared.
I mean, you can't make
It's not gonna happen. But then the thing is, I think the thing with Demons and Daughters is if any of them died, the plot would be how do we bring them back?
Yeah.
Whereas I think in Michael's Manor, like that's a one shot. We can't have a whole campaign on bringing someone back from the dead.
Yeah.
That's like
one shot.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like But yeah, what did you like? I mean, obviously, like it's different because being a player versus DM, but like
Ari also asked another question.
Lyndon enjoyed that they weren't like stressing over plot.
Yeah, I guess I'll answer my question first. So I just enjoyed being the unbridled silliness, because like obviously with Damsels,
you're the plot.
I'm like, oh yeah, no, it's serious. There's consequences. Everything matters. I want everyone to be reacting realistically. I'm like, not Bobby.
Yeah.
This was another reason why I think I couldn't settle on like a dark horror psychological thriller thing, because Chaos Man over here, it just would have like the genre wouldn't have worked, and like
Chaos
man
Man.
needed to let loose.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not true. We did our one shot that was.
That's true. The one I homebrewed, you were quite like dark. You were very like gritty in that.
Yeah.
But
That's quite frightening, actually. I have a question. Is that spoon being used still?
you can have it if you want.
'Cause
I can like pick it.
I've been waiting for a spoon. That's why I haven't.
Bro. Yes.
I actually don't understand the context of the question, but Ari asked, "Did you find it fun to be on the other side of the coin, Taya?"
Yes, it was so fun because it's like it's just such a different experience, and it like
It's good, yeah.
in a way it was yeah, like it was a lot of like, it felt like playtime as Mina. Like and it's so odd because obviously like playing Demons and Daughters, it means everything to me, and it is the most like beautiful and like fun and amazing experience I ever have. But like Mina was just like playtime, and it was just like unbridled, and yeah, like it was really fun to have that experience, because like I didn't Maijai was laughing at me in one of the breaks when we first started filming Michael's Manor, I think like the first break we took, because I was like, oh my god, like I didn't realize you like this was the thing, like you could play D&D and not just be shitting yourself all the time and not just be really scared. And that was nice. It was fun. It was fun to get to be the chaotic one and like make the chaotic decisions, because I'm like the opposite of that in Demons and Daughters. Because like there were so many times I think in the breaks where I was like, oh my god, is this how you feel as Talia? Because like Talia's not scared of death. Like, you know?
I mean, no, that's not how I feel as Talia.
I'm aware.
But
I meant just in terms of the like not being afraid.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid.
Anyway,
So like you know you have the freedom to make those like crazy choices.
I just think Talia's like gets to do her impulses, not because she gets to, but just because like I can't stop her. Like she doesn't have that like stop herself thing that Rosalind has.
Like what Mina didn't have.
Yeah, which like isn't good, and I don't like that. That's what it is, because it puts her in really bad situations. And like as a player, Talia is fucking terrifying to play.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because like she really could just get herself killed at every
terrifying
moment.
to like be in love with, honestly.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But like
I'm stressed.
I really go into like almost every episode being like, there's a chance that she does something and she dies. But yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Faya and also Ari and your boy Dingus all have said they all want to see us playing some Call of Cthulhu.
Nice.
Which I also think also awesome Candela Obscura, some proper horror vibes, which I also feel the underlying question there is, why are you guys playing D&D, not Call of Cthulhu?
I don't know what Call of Cthulhu is.
The answer to that is like we've never played Call of Cthulhu before.
I'm playing D&D because Lyndon messaged me saying, do you want to play D&D? And I was like, yeah, go on then.
I'm playing D&D because these two came to me being like, I've got an idea, will you play D&D as Regency?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, okay, that sounds fun.
I think we're all obviously the most comfortable with D&D because like we know it and we love it. But I
we
really
didn't know it.
Yeah, but like now, but I do want to branch out and do more things. I think.
Yeah.
Like
I want to play Minecraft.
I think D&D is just very accessible.
A good basis. Yeah.
And I think it's sort of what a lot of people will do as their first one.
And it's the thing with making actual play content as well is like it is really like obviously it's the biggest thing. Like D&D does really like dominate the industry. So for us it's like kind of the easiest like go to. At the same time, I would love to try some Call of Cthulhu, and I think our group vibe would be really fun with it.
I don't know what it's about, but it sounds fun. Let's go.
Yeah.
And also the main reason why we're not playing it is because it's very easy to die in Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, is it?
Very easy. So I don't think it doesn't lean itself to long format games.
Right.
But we could do like a mini thing with
it.
Yeah.
Stuff,
We could do like a trial with the four of us, maybe like a.
We could do a one shot.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'm willing to give that a go.
Faya asks, Demons and Daughters question.
Ooh.
As the gods were killed in the lore of the game, does this mean clerics do not exist?
DM.
Are we moving on to Demons and Daughters content now?
I think if there's no more, because I don't have any more Michael's ones written down from socials. Like I have some that could be applied to either, but like, yeah.
Just to like make a clear definition. Because then we'll do like any questions about anything that could be spoilers. We'll do at the end of all of the like general Demons and Daughters talk as well, so that we don't spoil it.
Yeah.
Right. I'll say there is a number of classes that do not exist.
Yeah.
Which is why somebody was really excited they could be a bard.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of the most interesting things that I love about Demons and Daughters as a player. You can have it, there's more. Is that because it's such a specific world, there's so much that Lyndon has like adapted and homebrewed and changed. And when we were first creating our characters, we were told, there are some classes that
Barbarians don't exist either, do they?
There's no barbarians. I don't think there's clerics.
Artificers?
There was talk of you playing an artificer for a bit before we had Agatha like made, but since
Maybe.
we've not encountered any others, I'm not sure if they are or not, and Lyndon's not going to confirm that. But yeah, and there's no bards. Basically, the thing with Demons and Daughters is, because of the really specific lore around where magic comes from and what the gods are, and the fact that the gods were all real and all, are not there anymore.
Mm.
Well, not all the gods, like. But
but like multiple gods, it does make the classes more specific. So yeah, we talked a lot with Rosalind and the concept of like sorcerers, how sorcery is an innate thing, but because all the magic comes from these like vestiges of gods, like that was what the whole ring thing is about, and how that sort of like awakens the sorcery, even though it is innate. Like you still need that like connection to the god to like bring it out,
To jumpstart it.
yeah. And yeah, I find it so interesting. And again, like I find it so interesting, like I think Lucas is a really interesting character, and the way wizards are, and the fact that you can learn it and study it. And yeah, I think Demons and Daughters has good scope for warlock stuff as well. I'm presuming from Lyndon's lack of answer that there's no clerics. But if there are, I can see them, I can see them existing, but having to be like homebrewed in a certain way, or like just the lore adapted a bit.
And I just think that loads of them are dead.
Yeah, this is the thing. I think there were clerics like hundreds of years ago in Demons and Daughters, thousands of years ago, was what I mean. But yeah, I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
Because that's what was really funny when everybody was guessing Talia as a barbarian, because like
she does come off as a barbarian.
She gives barbarian vibes, and I really understood why everyone was saying it, but I was like, they don't exist. We were told no.
That's why Rosalind got guessed as a druid a couple of times, I think, because of like flowers. Which is quite funny to me now. But again, I can see why.
Did I get anything guessed?
I mean, your dad makes guns.
Okay, I was gonna say, because like, how funny would it have been if my dad is a gun maker and then I just wanted a gunslinger? We just put it in like a red herring.
So good.
That would have been
iconic.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
So, oh my god. Talia always gave Barb vibes until the transformation, says Fred.
Yeah, somebody was getting rogue for a while, and I remember being really confused, because I was like, babe, she breaks down every door she comes across.
If she was a rogue, she wouldn't need to rip all the doors off their hinges.
That was a funny one. There was another one that got guessed as well.
Bayard and Fred both said they thought Rosalind was going to be a bard because of the Riz, which is interesting, because I do think, like, I think I've said before,
Rosalind would be a bard.
That if she was in a world where bards existed, I think she would be a bard, and I think her like performance skill would be like her little dancing. But it would be cute. But yeah, bards don't exist because magic in this world is very specifically like from all the gods. But yeah, if she was just in like a D&D setting, like if like AU Rosalind fanfiction, I think would be a bard. Because of Riz.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see why that was guessed.
Rosalind.
Oh my god. Sesavi just said the coolest thing I've ever fucking heard. They thought Oathbreaker Paladin for Aggie because of the religious background.
Oh.
That would have been so sick. Oh my god.
Nice. I don't know what that means.
I don't know if paladins exist or not in Demons and Daughters, and DM is making eye contact with me and saying nothing, so I guess who knows.
I will research that, because I was going to play a paladin for Jerry, but I never did.
That's interesting.
There's another Fae-related subclass from paladins.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and I'm very new to D&D.
Yeah.
I have only ever played a gunslinger, a rogue, and a barbarian. I'm still very...
See, Eliza's a paladin.
Yeah. So I will do some research on Oathbreaker.
Yeah, it's very, very play. I love them.
Because that sounds cool.
Yeah, I think that's very cool. Oh, Faye Arthur said, I would love to meet a paladin who's a member of the Freemasons in Act 2 or 3. That would be sick, actually. Because the Freemasons is like a historical cult, basically. Yeah. Can I say that on what is the Freemasons? Like, I don't know what the Freemasons is really. They're a weird secret society of men, like in history, that were real.
Questionable.
They are. They're still.
They're still Freemasons.
Yeah.
I don't know
We're gonna get
anything.
killed. It's gonna be your fault.
No.
It's mostly
I have
business
made an
doing
error.
shady- not even shady deals, but it's
Yeah.
just like backroom deals.
Yeah. I've got
Getting
a cool
rich.
fun fact that I can maybe share with you when we're no longer on live.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I also just want to read, Fred's just said, I like that Rosalind is a sorcerer because to me, since it's an inherited trait and how high a class she is, it's like she comes from rich blood with magic. And the thing that's funny about that is every time, like, I'm obsessed with Rosalind's subclass being Divine Soul because, like, the initial reason I wanted to take that when we were doing character creation with Lyndon was, like, we need healing spells and we knew we weren't going to have a cleric. So I was like, oh, well, that will give me hit spells from the cleric list. But at the same time, the more I've gone into it, the more I'm like, it's just so funny to me to give Rosalind everything that is just like, I'm an angel and I'm perfect. And actually, I am an angel. Because like everything, it's so funny. Like it's so specifically Rosalind. And I really enjoy giving Rosalind all of the things.
Taya!
How did that even happen?
One of Taya's
I'm
hairs.
literally over here. I'm sorry.
Taya's hair ends up
Gets everywhere.
I'm sorry.
I find Taya's hair in my house.
Yeah. I have once found Taya's hair on me a week after I've seen her, and I've showered twice since then, and I really don't understand how it was still on me.
Sorry. Yes, thank you, Ari, the god's perfect angel and the most interesting girl in the world. That is Rosalind. Thank you.
She is the most
This
interesting girl in
is
the world.
something that I don't think I've asked you guys because I know that Rosalind and Talia,
Are gay.
well,
Sorry.
but they existed a lot longer than Agatha, like character
we brought
wise.
you in.
Not
'Cause I-
massively longer.
Yeah, but you still had
We had a concept
because
before you
I
did.
created Agatha. I think about a week before we filmed the first episode.
Stop.
It-
Right, what the fuck?
a week, maybe two.
What?
It was really short,
Wow.
and that's why. And
Oh
obviously,
my god.
being new to D&D, like that's why I was a bit
Shitting
like,
it.
yeah. So like, how did you two like
Wow.
come up with the concepts of Rosalind and Talia?
So there were so many jokes about Talia.
No, stop, because Talia and Rosalind really lied to us
They did.
when we first sort of had a character concept. They were so different to what they ended up being. But both Maijai and I sort of had the external view of what Talia and Rosalind are. Like, they lied. Like, the lie that they both put out into the world about who they are, we believed for a
Yeah.
bit. But carry on.
But so there were loads of jokes about Talia, and this is one of the things about the way that like we create characters, because before I had any idea of what mine was going to be.
Sir.
Can you not now? Thank you.
Maijai is talking.
Before I had any idea of like even what her name was going to be.
Yeah.
Taya was like, I've written 7 pages about Rosalind and I know who she is and I know what I
That's
want to
so
do with her.
Taya
And I know,
coded
like...
of you.
Whereas I was just like, okay, and I like slowly started to form her, but I really only had the basis of who she was going to be. I knew she was going to be an only child. I knew she was going to have a really good relationship with her dad. We decided pretty early on that her mum was going to be dead. I knew like straight away that I wanted her to be like ginger, left-handed, and like social outcast. Because, and again, it wasn't that, because I know you went into it being like, here's a story and an idea that I want to cover. And I didn't really go into it doing that, but I did go into it very, I don't know. I knew that there was a story to tell in that type of character where like she is an outcast and like she is unliked by everybody, and how that like impacts the way that she is now. But she just sort of happened, and loads of it came from jokes. Like even the Talia Rosalind backstory was a joke.
The way that Talia and Rosalind's
And we thought it would be
came about,
a fun little
we thought it'd be funny. Like
maybe it would come up occasionally.
In the very early days of like character conception, like we genuinely thought this was gonna be like Talia and Rosalind were gonna be like sexual banter, funny, haha.
Yeah, but like it was really a joke. Like it was never going to be like a major thing. It was just like, oh, here's a thing that's in the background. And then we tried to play and we were like, oh no,
God.
this is actually more important than anything in the show.
But this is what I mean when I say they lied to us. So like when I was creating Rosalind, as soon as we knew, because obviously me and Lyndon sort of came up with the concept of the show on a long drive, famously.
I remember.
And as soon as I knew it was going to be Regency, I knew the kind of character I wanted to play. And I knew I wanted her to be really hyper feminine. I really wanted her to be like perfect societally, because I'm always really fascinated by that type of character, because everybody always usually hates that type of character. Like, that's the character that I think is always the most target of misogyny from fandoms and like people who analyze media, and I think it's really like interesting. And I think in anything historical, you sort of quite a lot of the time you get protagonists who are women who don't conform, and I really wanted to be like, it sucked for the ones who conformed too. And like, actually there is so much there to explore with like, and I mean it got a lot bigger and more horrible than I ever thought it would, especially when I realized she was gay, and like the whole thing with Men and Rosalind.
Rosalind's gay.
Like,
But like,
spoilers.
I knew that that was something that you were going to look into, and I knew that I wanted mine
to be
different.
Yeah.
And like we said like from the beginning that like Talia's whole thing was that like she was accepted by her family but not by the world, but like her dad treated her like a son. Like as close as he could, he would do everything the way that he would have treated a son.
Yeah. And we kind of knew it was like, like Rosalind was kind of the opposite. Like, she never felt valued by her family because she wasn't a son, and you know, she always felt less than her brothers. And so she tried so desperately in society to like be perfect and make everyone love her, and she succeeded for a bit, and it didn't fix her or help her. And actually, like, then her relationship with like men and her appearance and the world like was all so bad for her. And it's so funny to me when we talk about it like this, and then I'm like, but we thought it was going to be funny, haha. But like, we did. We were really like, oh, they're just going to have banter and like be annoyed at each other all the time.
I thought this was going to be like a light-hearted horror show. Not like light-hearted, like I knew that
5 episodes.
I knew that it was
like
going to be like
torture later.
I knew that it was going to be like dark and like gritty, and there was going to be loads of blood and stuff. But like,
anyone who's just watched like the first 4 episodes is like, what do you mean? This is a show about scavenger hunts in a village.
But nothing could have prepared me for how intensely, like just for how intense it is to play this campaign. Like, and to like to feel
everything.
And again, because they lied to us, and because we didn't know who these girls were when we were stepping into it, I didn't realize how like deep down and like eternal the feeling of like being a woman in life, being queer in history, and for Talia being like very clearly neurodivergent in some way. And like the way that is all treated. Because like it's one of those where it's like it is bad now, like it's not good now for any of that. But
the way
the way
then,
that it is in past times, and like the relief that I felt when we got to the Velvet Masquerade.
Oh my god.
And just like talking to Zach really was like, oh my god, real life people had to go through this.
Yes.
And that, like, the intensity of that was really something that I had never prepared myself for.
Same. Which is so funny in hindsight, because I'm like, are we dumb? Like, oh my god, like, obviously that was the experience we were going to have. Like, but when I say they lied to us, like, they really did. Like, we saw the external that both of them put out at the start. So, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, for you, I feel like you just like were like, yeah, Talia doesn't care about anything, like she's just fine and hates everyone. And for me, I was like, I don't even know how to just articulate it, but like I just thought Rosalind was more together than I thought her performance was better than it was. Like, because her performance is like amazing, but it's not internally. Like, I thought she'd convinced herself more. And then I remember sitting down for session 0, because I remember the first time her voice came out of me, because I'd never planned what she was going to sound like, and I was like, oh my god, she's holding back tears all day. I was like, oh, she goes up to her room and has a panic attack at the end of the day. And I was really like, what do you mean? Because like I just didn't expect everything to be like quite so manic and forced. Like, I really thought she'd be fine. I really thought she'd be chill.
And like I don't know, I really thought that Talia like wouldn't care about that much, and oh my god, does she care about things
everything,
so deeply.
Lyndon.
Ari asks, when did you feel the most out of control or surprised by your
Oh,
character's
that's
behaviour?
such a good question
Morne.
for us.
I think
No, we can't give any spoilers for anything
No.
we've pre-filmed for Act 2.
I think for me was when I prayed, like I just randomly
deranged.
started praying, and then after
Yeah, they were definitely asking in game.
Yeah.
oh, in game.
Right.
Sorry, I thought you meant like character bleed.
No.
Why
Like,
not? Why
like,
not?
when has Agatha in the game done something that surprised you?
I misunderstood the question when she prayed. No. The first time it happened was the whole, your father is evil. Why does he have such unholy books?
That
Yeah,
was so
that is a good
good.
Because I was like, huh? Because that's the thing. Agatha doesn't actually believe what she said. That's just her mother talking through her. But like, so I was like, why am I letting Martha control me at this point? I was like, I'm Morne, I'm an actor. Shut up. Why am I saying this? But then that's when I was like, oh, maybe I'm not in control.
Yeah.
But the first time, like, going back to my thing, the first time I was like, oh my god, Agatha is controlling my life is when I prayed. And that was, wow.
Deranged.
Yeah. That was so
I-
unhinged. Why did that happen?
I think I have two. One of them is in the Moonball episode.
Yeah.
When she really caught me off guard is when Marianne pretends to do the trip and Rosalind kneels down.
Oh, yeah.
And instantly, like, Talia spoke through me and was like, I punch him, to the person that, like, kicked Rosalind. And I know that, like, it's not a surprising thing for her to do. And I know that it could be really confusing that, like, that's what I'm saying.
But for you, yeah.
But it's the speed at which it came out of my mouth. Normally, she has those thoughts, and I'm like, okay, weigh out the situation. We can't go around punching these
Especially
people.
because that was a soldier with a gun.
Yeah, whereas that really came out of me before I even had any idea of what it was.
I think you can see it when you watch that episode. You can see the moment you realise, fuck, why did I do that?
Yeah.
Because then Lyndon, as the guard, is like, he pulls out his gun and he shoots at you.
And the other one was really early on, and that was the one going and standing outside your door.
I knew you were going to say
and
that.
two, like, literally not being able to step through the doorway.
I knew you were going to say that.
Because that was one, like, I think that was one of the things that really made me, like, I already knew by that point because Session Zero had, like, showed us how awful this, like, dynamic was. But that was really the first time where I was like, oh, I can't even make her do something. Like, because I think they were just, like, talking, and it would have been better to go in and close the door, and I couldn't get her to do it. And that, I think, was the first time where I was really like, oh, no, like, I actually can't control anything that you do.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a weird one because Rosalind quite often doesn't surprise me because I know her so well. So even when she does something that is surprising, like, to me, I'm like, oh, of course I know why you did that.
Yeah.
But then I think
in the moment.
Yeah. I think for me, actually, I think because we're sort of all going back to, like, the earliest moments and, like, the first times we were really surprised. At the end of episode 5, when she had her first big meltdown.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect that to happen that soon. And that meltdown specifically, that was after she'd, like, gone blind for a bit. And it really caught me off guard because I knew how she felt about herself and the situation. And I knew that at some point she was due a big breakdown because she has to have it sew together all the time. And I knew at some point that was going to collapse. I didn't think it would be in episode 5.
Yeah.
You know, I think, again, it sort of goes back to the fact that she lied to me. The thing that has always surprised me the most about Rosalind is, like, how much of a mess she is. Like, because that breakdown really was so sudden and it was so overwhelming out of nowhere. And it was all so huge and so real. And I just didn't think that she would break that much that quickly. But now I look back and I'm like, oh, obviously, like, that was your first day away from your family and bloodline, like, of course. And then also, actually, she surprised me at the Velvet Masquerade with how quickly she started making connections about herself and the world, because I knew that the Velvet Masquerade would be a big thing for her and I knew it would start her questioning things. But the speed at which she witnessed one night at the Velvet Masquerade and suddenly was like, oh my god, I understand. I didn't think she'd understand that quickly, which is kind of a nice, like, that was obviously a really tough emotional moment, but like it was kind of a nice act of surprise, because I was like, oh, you are smarter actually than people give you credit for. Like, oh, you actually did make that really quickly.
Your boy Dingus asks a question for Morne.
Hello.
It can be incredibly daunting playing D&D. No, I'll say it in their voice. It can be incredibly daunting playing D&D.
It's not Nigel!
with a bunch of strangers. When did it stop feeling like you had to stop behaving and let it go? Disclaimer, I have no idea what they sound like.
That's interesting.
I don't know, Ruth. I think it just happened gradually because Maijai was the one I was most comfortable with because we had met a couple times before on nights out. Lyndon, I'd met you once because you did headshots for me. I had never met Taya.
That's mad.
And so at first, like I said a bit earlier, I was like, I felt like I had to be on my best behavior. These are people in the year above me. I'm like, these are people who I've seen perform, and they are good. And like, I'm just a lowly second year. I'm just a baby.
I love you
being
so
like,
much.
oh, they're asking me to do something, and
I'm so glad you said yes.
Because I'm really like, who else? Like, you're perfect. This is the party that we needed. Like,
and yeah, so I feel like at the very start, I think not performative, but I was like, I wasn't letting my entire personality come through because I didn't want to like come across too strong or anything. I didn't want to like I didn't want them to think, oh, we shouldn't have done this. But then after a while, I just became more comfortable and I started seeing these people as friends rather than just people in the year above me.
I love you so much.
I love you too. And like I love these people now, and they are my best friends. These people. Well, I'm gesturing to the room. Yeah, because I love them, and I'm glad that they asked me, even though they had no clue really who I was.
But we made a good decision because but the thing that I always say when people ask me about, you know, how we all met and like what the situation was bringing in, because I was saying this last night. So last night we had a really lovely meet up with some of the guys from Encounter Party. And also Roll Britannia and also Throughback Halfling. It was just such a nice night. But I was fucking singing your praises.
Yay!
We were talking about how our group sort of came together.
Yeah.
Oh wow! Attacked.
Oh yeah, I guess we should
so much damage.
Yeah.
I guess we should say that we all went to the same uni.
Yeah.
These three were in the same class, and I was the year below. So we never had any classes together.
But I think I'd seen you perform in like something, and I was like,
I
you
feel
were
like
really
I
good.
haven't seen you perform in anything.
I saw you guys in 12th Night and Image of an Unknown
young woman.
Yeah.
And I saw your two's EISs. I didn't see Lyndon's, and I saw all the devised pieces. So I'd seen a fair amount.
But like what I was saying last night to everybody was that like I remember so clearly when we first like met to talk to you about this because you showed up with 2 possible character names, a book on demonology, and a whole character concept, and like all of this stuff, and like all of these facts about like historical religion, and I really remember just being like, oh my god, we've got the right person. And I was saying that to the guys last night, and they were like, yeah, like that's how you know.
Yeah.
When is that your hand up, Lyndon?
Yes.
Okay,
Well,
let me just quickly say this.
You, so you know that my hand is up.
When it comes to devising characters, I really like to have some element of myself in there. Otherwise, I feel so alienated. I don't like playing characters that I have nothing in common with. So when that idea, I was like, oh yeah, I have demonology books, I have Bibles, like I'm just gonna add like aspects of my life, but put them in the forefront of someone else's.
Yeah.
So
that's really cool.
Lyndon.
I have multiple questions.
Lovely.
So
wow.
Thank you.
go off on a tangent. Remember, I've got more.
Okay.
We were allowed to go on as long as tangent we want because people want to hear all that we have to say.
First question.
So they also want you to answer their questions. I have three questions.
Okay.
First one is from Taya. With everything that Rosalind has now experienced, and finding this power within, how would she react if she found herself being forced to interact with Nigel again?
What?
And have him attempt to court her?
Oh,
This is
my
the best
God.
question anyone has ever asked. I don't really know. I think she would shut him down. I think a lot
My God's
better
got
than
some
she did.
strength.
Because I think before, when she would interact with people like that, she was very, like, apologetic about it. Like, she was able to set some boundaries because, like, she didn't want to be seen as, like, societally improper. But it was always in a very, like, oh, well, my mother's over there, and I'm very... Like, now I just think she would be, like... I think she would just... Like, she probably would still apologise, but I think she'd be a lot more firm about it. Because I also think now Rosalind is less... Like she knows that, like, if she needed to, like, she can defend herself now, which is a really cool thing for Rosalind to have, actually. So yeah, I think she would be a lot more confident and direct now in being like, no, which we love for my girl.
Okay, next question. We kind of touched on this earlier, but it was before Cassandra Chaos dropped in. She said, have you got any good alternative systems to 5e? It's what I've mainly known, and I like a lot of its elements, but Wizard of the Coast being Wizards of the Coast. So we won't get into the politics of it, but
yeah,
I have a lot of fun systems that I like. No one else would like. I was GURPS. Love GURPS.
What
no
is
one's
GURPS?
going to.
I have never heard of this.
It stands for Generic Universal Role Playing System.
Oh, I have heard of this.
And you've kind of got this basic system that has tons and tons of books over the top to make it fantasy, sci-fi, everything. It's very big. I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it's too big for most people to be like, I'm going to sit down and enjoy this.
That sounds cool, though.
Yeah, it's good.
I don't know any other systems to use.
We are going to be playing my own one-shot, one-page rule system at some point called Dogs in the Hood, which is it's a one-page
We all
rule.
play dogs.
Everyone plays dogs.
Yeah.
My character will just be Welly.
Please play your own dog.
It's also a work in progress. So
Yeah,
it might
but
get terrible.
if I can't choose between my dogs...
Yeah, but Taya can be the other one.
That's true,
That's fair.
but you'd have to get to know their personalities.
You'd have to just teach me.
Okay.
I believe it's going to be a little bit like, is it called Spy Dogs? It's like dogs versus cats.
Cats versus dogs.
Is that the movie?
That's literally the name
Is
of the
Spy Dogs a
movie.
different movie then?
Maybe you're thinking of Underdog.
I don't know.
No, I'm sure there's something called Spy Dogs. Anyway, cats versus dogs. That's what.
Yeah,
what
there is definitely is a spy
Is that the one
movie.
with the really big white fluffy
Yes,
cat?
yeah.
Cats versus dogs.
But yeah, to answer your question, we are mostly leaning on D&D 5e at the minute because it is, again, it's like you said, like it's like the easiest one and it's what we're comfortable with and it's the most accessible one for a lot of people. But I think we would like to sort of try some other things. And yeah, maybe we're doing Call of Cthulhu at some point soon for a one shot. Who knows?
I also think it would be cool to like, because I know our brand is like D&D and like those type of games, but also I just want to play Minecraft. I would love to do like a Minecraft Let's
who
Play.
wants to watch Morne on Twitch build Bloodlow in Minecraft? Because I think that would be good.
Yeah.
What was the third question?
Oh yeah.
Cassandra's Chaos also asked, can you answer this without going on a tangent?
No.
No.
We did it.
Wow.
We're getting me for Bloodlow in Minecraft.
Yay! And because the thing is, I want to try and do it all in survival mode, but that might take a very long time. So maybe I'll create Bloodlow in creative, and then defend it in survival, or I could do like a whole like the beginning of man like thing from the start of survival mode. Yeah, because when I play Minecraft, I like to imagine I'm the first ever human and like I'm creating everything.
I like that.
Yeah,
that was cool. I have questions that I've written down, if we're not getting anywhere in the chat at the minute, that I haven't read out yet.
Okay.
So Jedi Ukulele on Instagram asked us what alternate universe would the D&D crew fit best in, which I think is a really fun question.
As in us?
No, I think, like, I read that as in the characters, but I guess we can answer for the characters and for us, because Rosalind's a Disney princess.
I see.
Like Rosalind is in an old school Disney princess movie.
How is it like Pirates of the Caribbean?
I can't answer this because it will be spoilers for my one shot.
Oh, that's cool.
So my lips are.
But yeah, Rosalind is a Disney princess who accidentally ended up in a D&D campaign.
I don't know
That was a
what
glitch.
I don't know what Talia would be in.
Talia's in like a dark, gritty survival show.
Yeah.
Because like I don't know. Talia's kind of
Talia's
like
meant to be
gritty,
in a like
Talia's kind of
gritty,
in The
but,
Walking Dead. Like,
I've never seen it.
Well, you know what happens. Zombies.
but I don't mean like zombies. I just mean like the fact that it's like an ongoing, quite gritty, like survival show. Like, well, not survival, like adventure show.
Like, I think Talia is just meant to be in something where like the main thing is that it's queer. Like Talia just is meant to be in a queer place constantly.
Yeah. Whereas I think Rosalind is meant to be in a Disney film that is lesbians.
Yeah.
You know, Rosalind needs to be the first lesbian Disney princess.
Yeah. But I just think I know ones and I can't think of them. But like, yeah.
Yeah. But Lyndon, pick a random NPC. What alternate universe would they belong in? Thomas is on Love Island.
Thomas is on Love Island.
Thomas will be good on Love Island.
Yeah.
Thomas is on like The Bachelor.
Thomas would slay on Love Island.
Richard would be WWE.
Yeah. So Thalia kind of.
You know, he'd like the Undertaker. He'd be one of those older wrestlers.
Yeah.
No, because I think that Talia thinks that like stage fighting is stupid.
Yeah.
So like she's not gonna go on like,
Okay,
TV
in that
and
case,
fight.
Richard is like one of the real, not like the performative.
Oh yeah, no, he's like a real
But
fighter.
that's what I thought you meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, Madam Beatrice would be... No, I meant WWE.
Oh, you
okay.
did mean that.
I mean, I
okay.
guess he could be a UFC fighter too.
Yeah.
But, and then Madam B would be...
The Viscount would be Antiques Roadshow, says the avoiding.
Yes! Oh my god, he would be!
It'll be Dickinson's Real Deal or something like that. I love Dickinson's Real Deal.
So Madam B would be in the British show about sex workers in the early 18th century.
Harlots. Yeah.
She'd be in that, obviously.
Yeah.
Nice.
I got really excited about them.
The Viscount Edward Sallingham.
No, that's not. That one's already been spoken for.
No.
Yeah.
No, I will answer that one correctly. Canon.
I mean,
Are
it's not
you-
canon, is it?
Are you really going to list all your NPCs?
No, this is the last one.
Okay.
Get back to me. I'll have
He'll be on like
support.
location, like trying to find.
The Viscount, every
house
day
abroad.
buying a new home in a
Yeah.
different country, yeah.
Yeah, location, except every location is one of his houses.
Yeah.
This is my location.
This is my vineyard.
location.
This is my orangery.
I really don't know what Talia would be in. I'm really quite stumped.
I'm trying to think of something different that
Yeah.
isn't spoilers for mine. I guess maybe like the Conjuring universe.
Yeah, I was going to say Agatha does belong in a horror film. I
Yeah.
think. Like, Michael's kids.
Michael's
Peter
kids.
Pan,
Peter
Narnia.
Pan.
Narnia. But then, like, Mina as a person, I'm like, I don't know.
Bobby's already in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
He's already made it.
Yeah.
What about us?
As people.
Yeah.
I
See, I think that I belong in a D&D world.
Yeah. I agree. I think I belong in Middle Earth. I think that's where I'm from. But then I'm also just like a lot of period dramas, but that's real life. So no, I think I was written by Tolkien.
I don't know where
I think
I'm...
that's me.
Yeah.
I think you belong in classic high adventure D&D.
Yeah.
Freya says
Or
you
I would
belong
if I wasn't chronically
in-
ill.
Talia belongs in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah.
They all do, because that was half the concept of the show.
Kind
Yeah.
of. But I think Talia more than any of the others though.
Yeah.
I can see in that.
What would I be in?
You're in like some weird twisted black and white thing.
Yeah. You're like in a silent movie.
Yeah. You're in like
You're kind of in Twin Peaks.
I love Twin Peaks because Rusty Lake, that game I keep on saying is very Damsels coded, was based on Twin Peaks.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like if I had to be a David Lynch film, I would be Rabbits though.
It's like censored out on my Twitch, but has Cassandra just said MILF Manor?
Yes. MILF Manor.
The amount that MILF Manor comes up. Like, MILF Manor came up last night at our little meetup. Like, what? Who belongs in MILF Manor?
Who belongs in MILF Manor? Okay, so obviously Madam B.
Madam B.
Madam B.
Basically everybody from the Velvet
Mummy
Masquerade.
B.
Yeah.
All the lads from the Velvet Masquerade would go on
course,
MILF Manor.
Your youngest brother,
Edwin.
Edwin.
Yeah.
Edwin would be great
would
on
go
there. With his mother, who would
No,
would
because
not be
Georgiana
good.
wouldn't go on there. She'd be like, "What is this ridiculousness?"
Yeah.
Yeah. But Edwin would definitely
Ed-
find someone to pretend to be his mother.
You would.
Yeah. No, because Edwin would somehow get in touch with Mummy B.
Mm.
Yeah.
I was going to say that if I had to be in the AU, it would be the universe of George Méliès, I think his name is. He was a experimental horror film director
Yeah,
from,
100%.
from the early 1900s, like
Yeah, this is very you.
so stuff like that. And also like, thank you, the people who made like, what's the name of the film? Metropolis, like something like that. Yeah.
That is very you.
Yeah.
More MILF Manor chat. Because,
Okay.
Because
Well, I hadn't
Cassandra-
finished what I'd said. And
you hadn't finished.
No, I hadn't.
Oh.
But I have now, so you may
Okay.
continue what
Okay,
you were
good.
talking about.
So Cassandra's Chaos will be pleased to know that it's one of my favourite shows. And Taya's too.
It was a good time. I had fun watching it.
They said who was Jimmy?
Jimmy. Oh, I remember the name. He was like, wait, let me see what have they
Was
said.
Jimmy the really
A
tall one?
cameo from Jimmy! Cassandra, you're an icon for that, to be honest. That's so funny. I'm struggling to describe it because they're all so the same. Because I want to be like, Jimmy was like the young Twinkie one, but like they were all young
Yeah,
Twinkie boys.
There was the tall one that had the really incestuous relationship with his mother. She wouldn't let him
That
go.
was like
That
the...
wasn't Jimmy.
No, I don't think so. I don't know.
Gets pink eye from eating.
Yes!
That's Jimmy.
That, I remember
What?
that.
Can't remember who Jimmy. I'm gonna Google it.
Google
I
Jimmy
need to
Milf
see
Man.
his face.
Do you know, because like, not to... I'm gonna watch this. Why were we really like with the guys from Encounter Party last night talking about MILF Manor? Why does MILF Manor come up at every TTRPG thing we do?
Oh, right, yeah, okay. It was the Asian-y one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Pink Eye Boy, I remember.
Yeah, with the quippy hair.
Yes. That is so funny. That is so funny. But yeah, that was that question. Thorn Files podcast asked us on Instagram what has been your favourite moment in the game / story so far, which is a big question.
My favourite moment ever.
Like, this is such, like, I'm really like, where do I even begin?
So much has happened.
I know what
think-
Lyndon's favourite moment is.
Ever? What was the question?
Yeah, so Thorn Files podcast asked us, what's been your favourite moment in the game / story so far? And you're going to say the Viscount at the end of the Moonball.
So only in Act 1.
Yeah, because obviously we can't talk about Act 2.
Yeah. Because I think my favourite moments are Act 2 ones.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Confused, concerned.
The Viscount's big reveal, sure.
Mm-hmm. For me...
Oh, apparently season 2 of MILF Manor is airing right now.
Oh my
Didn't
god.
know they'd sold it.
Imagine
Excellent.
if they sponsored us. Oh, no.
We need to get someone, when MILF Manor's over, I'm going to guess it's already over. Are they filming or showing?
If it's airing, then it's over,
already
yeah.
Okay, we need to message all of them and be like, who wants to be on our
Guest
show?
on our show.
One of them will say yes.
We'll just bring them
because
on to
MILF Manor,
talk
they're
Around The
desperate for
Teapot.
fame. They'll just say yes.
I think one of my favourite moments was threatening to kill Jonathan and him believing me.
Yeah.
That was incredibly slay.
That's definitely up there.
There's also Dilfs in MILF Manor.
Nice.
Oh, nice. Kiss
Yeah.
was one of my favourites because it was just like such a long time coming and it was such a like release in the moment and it was so cinematic.
Our dancing, actually.
Yeah. Yeah.
Keep touching your feet. I'm very sorry.
Anything with Gilbert, I love.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think threatening to kill Jonathan is the most iconic thing. that I
Yeah.
did.
That is very iconic. I think like the whole of the trials sequence, like
Oh,
from
yeah.
from a like watching it as a entertainment thing. Your first transformation was such a moment. And everything around that. Like, that's not my favourite to be in because that was horrendous to be in for me. But, like, I think as a show, that's one of the best moments. Like, the way Lyndon described it, I think, was so insane.
What about you? Well, it's a new question, so we can answer this one first.
I don't know if I have a specific moment.
Yeah, there's too many.
There is
but
too many.
I do love, like, the gradual growth of independence. Of independent thinking. Because I think at the very start of the campaign, that wasn't Agatha. That was Martha.
Absolutely.
And then as we've gone along, I've been able to, even though she speaks less, I find myself thinking a lot more vividly,
that's cool.
and like just not being afraid to like say certain things.
I think one of the most heartbreaking moments was Rio's natural one.
Stop! Rio's natural one when Seth genuinely like didn't see that we weren't coming back and was just genuinely like thought they were going to see us later.
That
so
was
sad.
heartbreaking.
I like anytime I like rizz up a man and he just believes nonsense that I say.
And when I tried to in the moonball when I tried to like take a guy out and I miss and then I just start being like, you're unchaperoned, because that's like one of the only times where Talia like talking has saved a situation, because that never happened.
That I think was one of my favourite moments as well, just distracting the guard right before that, because I rolled, that was the first time since Rosalind had her charisma maxed out that I'd rolled my highest, which was a 27. And I had 27 on distracting this man with my swooning.
And because that was something that before we'd even played, you were like, this is going to be her iconic move at a ball. She's going to swoon and it's going to convince everyone. And I don't think you'd actually been able to do that yet, because we'd not been in the situation. So when you did that, I was finally like, you did it.
To get to doing that on purpose. You know? Oh, that was cool.
I just had a really cool idea. So, you know, in Pulp Fiction, where the character Jaws has a Bible verse memorized, and at the end of the movie, it's like, I actually have no idea what it means. I think it just sounds cool. I think that would be so slay of me to just, like, memorize something and just, like, be like, I don't know what it means, but here you go.
Agatha, when she just flips through the pages of her Bible and doesn't actually read it.
No, but I think it'd be so cool, like, about to shoot someone, just say it and be like,
that would be cool.
Don't have a fucking clue. Bye-bye.
I like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
If any of you were to multi-class, what new class would you take?
I'm not going to say.
I'm not answering that.
Someone has already multi-classed.
Also Act 2, somebody multi-classes. You'll find that out. Watch Act 2.
I'm not willing to say mine.
I don't know if I would or not, because I think there is now a potential that Rosalind could, but I don't want to say that.
But if you multi-classed, it won't be your choice. It'll be my choice.
I don't, if like we're just talking like if this was just like a fun game and it was the characters and they could multi-class like as anything, like that's how I want to interpret this question. I think that's the only way I can answer it. And I just don't know. Because Rosalind is so like a sorcerer and she's so like set on it. But that's a really boring answer, so I want to come up with something because nobody else has answered.
Yeah, I just don't think... I think Rosalind is the only one that, like, just wouldn't.
Yeah, this is what I mean. And then this is why, obviously, like, you guys can't answer because you both obviously have something specific.
Yeah. I think watch the show and see if it happens.
Yeah.
Is the best answer I can give you. I'm sorry that that's not a real answer.
That said, I to give you some sort of answer, if it was a normal D&D game and it was like AU fanfiction Rosalind, she could take a level in Bard just so she could like make magic by dancing or sewing, because that she'd enjoy that. Yeah. Hey, that's her art form.
Bro.
Well, whenever I get to play a Bard, I've already told you what I'm doing for my art form.
I know.
He's gonna be like a stripper.
No, but that would be so good.
So, yeah, it's like...
Oh, that's what Eliza should have been.
Oh, that would have been
Maybe
iconic.
next time we do a live show, I'll bring Eliza back multi-class.
Keep it in mind for my one shot, and if it fits, then you can do it.
Just a little flick of a button, out comes the nipple,
and then magic.
Yeah, shoots out whatever spell.
That would have been good.
Anyway, sorry that was a boring answer.
Yeah,
but...
sorry. But some things have to be kept a secret.
Talia Maximum Haterade compilation.
Haterade.
What?
Cassandra Chaos.
Wait, what
asked,
does that mean?
Who was your favourite from MILF Manor?
What?
I don't remember any
Haterade?
of their names.
It rhymes with Gatorade.
I don't understand.
Gatorade is a drink.
Yeah, but I don't understand the comment.
It's like just like make a compilation of Talia when she's maximum haterade.
But Major
What don't
doesn't
you
know what-
Understand? Like
Major.
Like Talia's a hater. That's
Right.
the joke.
I was about to say Materade.
Materade.
I'm like saying Mayday and
Materade.
Haterade at the same time. Materade.
Maijai is chronically offline.
I really am a granddad. I really realised last night that I am a granddad.
I don't know.
What
I
have you
don't
just
remember
done?
any of the people from MILF Manor.
What have you just done?
Nothing.
What are you
nothing.
meaning?
So by
What?
but for me it was the Spanish woman,
Oh, I liked her.
and her son. Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I think they were my favourite like pair. I'll say that as my answer.
Cassandra Chaos also says another MILF Manor question. She said.
Cassandra, what are you doing to us?
She said, I didn't ask that. I'm not trying to hijack the chat anymore with MILF questions. I am being framed. I don't really know what that means.
Justice.
I don't know what that
for-
means. But,
Right, I hope you're not in a dangerous situation where you're being held at gunpoint by MILF Manor representatives. Our show isn't about MILF Manor.
but what if it was? What if we do a MILF Manor one-shot?
No, because Rosalind would like die. Jesus, have you seen her around Madam Bitch?
I want to do a MILF Manor
I have proper questions.
my life. Okay.
I have proper questions
I
such
love how you
as
said proper questions and you pulled up things.
yeah. So I have proper questions such as, do you love Morne?
Yes.
How much do you love Morne?
A lot.
Do you even lift, bro?
No.
Can you kiss Morne? I can't reach you.
Aww.
That's kind of gay.
Who sent in those questions?
It was Morne Putman Trevor.
No, it wasn't. I would never ask questions like that.
I also
Reveal yourself, question master.
I have GM Monday, our good friends, asked us the lovely question: will something nice happen to England's favourite lesbians?
No.
The answer is no.
Do you think our DM will ever allow England's favourite lesbians to be happy with anything ever? No.
I do like England's favourite lesbians. I will be putting that in review quotes for
Yeah.
the show to promote us.
Yeah.
I'm going to take one of
The
our
good thing
photos.
that happened is they've just been referred to as
Yeah.
England's favourite lesbians.
I'm going to just put that in quote marks over a picture of us kissing
Yes.
and use it to promote the show.
Done.
So back to proper questions.
Well, I might jog in that. I'm not against people having happy endings, air quotes, so to speak. La-di-da.
If you're saying happy endings, then yes, you are.
quotes.
However, happy endings, he says in air quotes, will happen despite my best efforts. But not, there's a chance you get the right dice rolls. Maybe everyone lives happily ever after.
The thing is, we've gone through so much trauma.
What's a little more?
Well, no, I'm just
No,
saying
because
that
really that's how Talia thinks.
our happy
That's
endings
bad.
are gonna actually be bittersweet endings.
I think they are, but I think that
Yeah.
will be right. For
Yeah,
them.
because I feel like at this point, because I mean, if we're being realistic, that the endings aren't going to be happy,
If we're being
but they're going to
realistic,
be like accepting what has happened to us.
if we're
is
being
probably
realistic, the only time you're going to see anything nice happen to England's favourite lesbians is when we finish the campaign and we do a Where Are They 10 years from now?
To be honest.
yeah.
But then they have little nice moments. This is the thing. I will say there are a few little nice moments, but like it's just in
Yeah.
and amongst so much horrendous stuff.
Yeah.
I
But-
will say, I don't think everyone's getting out this campaign alive. I think at least one person will be lost on the way.
I just,
Well, if it's me, you've lost me. Like I've said, I'm not making a new
But
character.
we don't allow that.
No,
Right.
maybe I won't too. Maybe if we make a stand.
If it's like
We make a
if it's like at the very end of the campaign,
oh,
like,
my
I'll
phone
be
is
like, I
on
won't come back.
5%. So if we get any more questions, you do need to tell me.
Mhm.
But yeah. So we were also asked, is there any hidden info / details that you've wanted to share but haven't had the chance? I guess about like any of the characters or things. And I kind of don't know because I feel like there is, but I'm also like I don't know what.
yeah.
the thing is that like one of the biggest enigmas about Agatha is what was her illness.
Yeah, but
That-
we don't even know
But
that.
I don't know that because I left it to Lyndon to decide what it is. So So yeah, that's hidden, I guess, but like I don't even know the answer to that. So
I do.
I know you do.
We'll find out in Act 2.
Wow.
Any hidden info
Scary.
that she does that I always want to share is all of Rosalind's clothes. And like every detail about everything. Like I read the repository of the arts from 1820 and like take notes as Rosalind. Because I'm sad.
New question.
Wait, let Maijai.
Is it about fucking MILF Manor?
I think that there is hidden information. I just don't know what it is at the moment.
I'm always like, if I haven't shared it, I haven't shared it for a reason.
Yeah, and I'm so wrapped up in current hidden information that I can't think of any past ones. And I just think anything that I did have hidden at any point, if it no longer needs to be hidden, I would have said it on a past talks.
Yeah.
And if I haven't said it yet, it's because it's not allowed to be known yet.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's anything that like is big that I can say that I haven't already said.
Yeah,
there might be
that's
some
how I
like small
feel.
things, but stop waving the hand, I'm talking. But there's
I
just
always want to share little fun facts about
like
them,
there's
but,
small things, but I don't think they're like, I can't think of them right now, and I don't think they're like important. I wouldn't class them as like hidden information.
Sorry, Viscount took over.
Yeah, I was just looking at the two bones in the hand, and I remembered how like the bones in your arms like literally like twist around each other when you.
Ew! Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, what is this question about MILF fucking Manor?
Okay, no, but hear me out. Let me get to the end. Okay. It's a little known fact that Jose was contractually obligated to have a romance scene with Kelly, and afterwards has denounced her as a person.
Oh,
With that,
as a person.
let me finish. With that in mind, what do you think is the most engaging class/subclass to play in 5th edition?
Most engaging.
What does that have to do with MILF? The beginning of that question was MILF Manor, and the second half
Can
of
you
it
not
was
just
D&D.
answer the
I don't
question,
know
please?
what. That's a really fun fact about MILF Manor.
I think rogues
What?
are fun to watch.
I think warlocks, because I just think that having a patron is immediately narratively so fascinating. I'm obsessed with warlocks.
I think rogues mechanically are really interesting, but I don't know narratively.
Am I missing something?
Just ignore the
You're
beginning
It's
bit.
a joke. It's a
Missing
joke.
the brain.
Okay.
That, like, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't understand either. I just ignored it. But yeah.
Okay. This might sound really stupid, but I just need to confirm. Is MILF Manor a D&D show or a reality TV show? It is to be okay. That's what we're
So
trying
you
to
want to know what MILF Manor is? It's Love Island for mothers and sons.
Okay.
Pairs of mums and sons.
Alright,
go
I
on
got
and date
really
each other.
confused.
But just to drop in another D&D show, it's not MILF Manor based, unfortunately, but it is the Real Housewives of D&D. That's a good show.
Oh
That's
yeah,
a podcast.
that's
Okay.
a fun show. I would recommend.
And that feels MILF Manor related.
Adjacent.
Yeah. I was very, very confused.
No, you're all good.
I'm not
You're
going
all
to
good,
answer
babe.
that question because I'm
Confused.
Yeah, I have a
that's valid.
follow-up
Yeah, I do
question
think
then.
warlocks are really
Obsessed
interesting.
with warlocks.
And I think paladins are really interesting too, because like it is with a god usually, but aren't they the one where it's like
It's an
just an oath?
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be like too
Mm.
yeah, I think that's really interesting.
Yeah, I love paladins.
I don't really know enough about them to be able to
On
fully
that level,
say.
I think Oathbreaker paladins, if we're asking for a subclass, so fascinating. Obsessed.
Yeah.
But yeah.
This one's from Bay Earth to me.
Ooh.
Lyndon, are the Viscount sword and shield a normal sword and shield, or are they magic? And I can answer that one now. Yes.
Yes.
okay.
Yes, I thought that's
Yeah.
something along the lines of what you would say.
Yes, they are either a normal sword and shield
Oh,
or magic.
yeah. The next question I have written down is there anything you were expecting to happen so far in Demons and Daughters that hasn't yet?
These two just getting a grip and being in love with each other. Like
Just
the
getting
amount of times that they've been like, I love you, and they're still just like,
We kissed once in
Yeah.
the show.
like, come on.
Yeah, but in our defense, we thought they were going to be so slow burn that they weren't even going to like do
Yeah,
anything or
that's
say
true.
anything in Act 1.
Yeah, but we also thought that they would be so slow burn because it wouldn't be important to the story. So there's that.
that's true.
Yeah.
I
Ari says, quote, I love you, and I love you. Okay, anyway.
Why is that kind of what they do?
Yeah.
Well, no, Talia literally says it.
No, but it's
She like says to.
it's really
That's happened. That's out.
what bit?
With Madam.
Yeah.
Yeah. She really is just like, we just keep telling each other that we love each
Yeah.
other and nothing
They're not
happens,
doing
and I'm
anything
really
about
confused.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that we would have like found more magic things. Like we know
See, I
of
kind
a
of
lot of
didn't.
magic things,
Well.
but I thought we might come across some more like actual magic things instead of just like, oh, there's this story about this. You know?
I don't know what I thought.
Yes,
I
where
thought-
are all the magic items? Excellent question.
I think I don't know. I was expecting this isn't necessarily like something that I was expecting that didn't happen, like because it's just the nature of like how we did the story and like what the girls did. But I was expecting a lot more like low level struggle in London before we got to the magic demon stuff. And I think that's just because we all ran our mouth and ended up at the Velvet Masquerade
Yeah.
so soon that we were somewhere safe.
Yeah.
I was kind of expecting us to like get attacked on the way to London.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was also, I think I was expecting more social struggle in terms of how we're treated and what we can get. Like, I think I was expecting more backlash from general society, especially like as Talia. Like, I was expecting to really be in any social situation and for it to be like, I don't know, more intense
Yeah.
or more, you know, like questioning more why there's 3 young girls without a chaperone, or questioning more
Yeah.
like why
And again, I think
Talia's
part,
in trousers.
I think part of that is again because we ended up in Ratcliffe very
Yeah.
quickly, which is like where kind of nobody cares. And,
Yeah.
like, it's all these like. Whereas I think, you know, had we stayed at the Viscounts longer,
Yeah.
you know, because it was really like the biggest time I can think of like you being is like whites and everyone
Yeah.
being like, what the fuck is wrong with this woman?
Yeah.
Like, you're hysterical and
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
Like,
I think I was expecting more of
More
that,
of that.
but like you said, like we ended up in a place where like lots of people don't really care about that, and I'm interested to see
and like they're
how
all criminals and drug
Yeah.
addicts, you know, like.
I'm interested
Interesting.
to see if that changes with as the story moves
because
forward.
now it's like now we're in the Brotherhood, you get that from Jonathan, you know, as their like parental
Yeah.
figure. There's nothing he can do about it.
Yeah,
and
so
Talia
I'm-
doesn't care.
But I'm wondering, like, they're gonna end up at some point like having to be more like in the types of people who will judge more,
Yeah.
or in a position where people will comment or they will like hate crime.
Yeah.
So like, I'm interested to see how much
Especially
more
now
that will
Talia
happen.
just walks around in trousers. Because
Yeah.
like I have said this to everyone individually, but like Talia walking around in trousers in Regency England, I'm really like Anne Lister on my soapbox, as I always am about Anne Lister, my favourite historical lesbian. Like Anne Lister was wearing skirts and would get misgendered and people were confused about what she was, and like that's why she was nicknamed Gentleman Jack, because everyone thought she looked like a man and like was a man. Because she had a masculine like top half of her outfit and like wore black all the time. Like she was in skirts, and because she was just like a little bit more mask, people were like, what the fuck are you? What's wrong with you? Talia is wearing trousers. Like that is so much another level from what Anne Lister was doing. And I'm really like, I think at some point that is gonna come and like be a thing. For
I mean,
you.
it has to. I'm just
At
wondering.
some point somebody
at
is
what
really
point.
gonna be like, what the fuck are you supposed to be?
At some point, somebody's gonna try and like punch me.
Yeah.
Like, ew. Abomination.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like, do you want to see an abomination? An abomination.
Yeah.
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 I did think that there would be like more fighting. I did and I didn't.
I kind of didn't for Act 1
Yeah,
at least.
because
I
think for Act 1.
because of how we play it.
Yeah, that's true. I think before I knew like what our campaign was, I'm
Yeah,
talking like before
yeah.
we played,
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be a lot more like fighting.
Same. But it turns out there's a lot more crying than I thought there was going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
It's what fighting for crying.
Yeah.
Lyndon.
I can answer this question for you. It's going to be you have no idea. But
Okay.
here's another question from Cassandra's Chaos.
Yeah.
Bearing it, there's no MILF Manor bit here.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, 'cause that really threw
Do
me.
you all have any advice on the best way to set up and pay stuff off as a DM? I feel like I struggle with that, and then I listen to people playing, and I go like, "Oh fuck you! How did they plan that so smoothly?" But since you've never planned anything smoothly,
I've never
in your
DM'd.
lives,
I DM'd like one home, one shop.
players as well.
Yeah, I have never DM'd.
But like the setup and payoff thing doesn't have to be for DMs.
I think like
Just your
you've
own
done
planning.
that so well in like so much of Demons and Daughters, and just in like what I observe in you doing it, it's just like making the characters and situations real, and like
Yeah.
all of your NPCs, like I know why they behave the way they do. Like even if Rosalind doesn't, like when I step back from the table and as Taya I watch it back, I'm like, you're a person. And I think people behaving as people, you know, it goes back to acting, you know, people have their objectives and their intentions and their motivations, and if you're truthful to them, what they do and the payoff is always going to feel truthful and earned because it's right for the character and the story. That's my take on it. I don't know if that answers the question.
Sort of. I think for me, it's about knowing what the players will believe. Give the players what they want to hear, and they'll hear it. With the Viscount,
Spoilers.
generally-
We need to spoilers.
No, because Act 1's over.
Yeah,
so
but
I think it's-
no, but we're doing anything that could be Act 1, like the very end of Act 1. We're doing at the end of the talks because there are some people who
To
might
be
not have
like
caught up.
spoilers.
So anything
We've
that's
already
like
done some spoilers there.
we've been very
We've tried not to.
somebody just keeps talking, but and
Is that
like
me?
no.
Oh.
It's Bobby Bobbington.
But
He's in the room.
no,
with
we're
us.
doing anything that could be major spoilers for like the finale of Act 1
Okay,
and the end of talks.
so then I'll just answer it generically.
Yeah, but we know what you. Those who know what you mean know what you mean.
You just give players something they want to believe, and have it not true. You like don't lie to them. Be like, what do they want to hear from a character, and then give it to them. And they'll be like, oh, that's what I expected to hear. It's what I wanted to hear. And then they don't roll insight on you because they don't think you're lying, and then you can be lying. Ba ba boom, bada boo, bada loosh.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Yes.
Yeah. I also think, I don't know, I think knowing, I mean, like you said, like knowing what your characters want, but like knowing what your players want for their characters as well.
Yeah, it's character.
Yeah,
Just
it's all back to
character.
character.
Yeah.
Because if it fits in line with something that one of the players wants for their character, then it will always have a good payoff because at least one of your players will
Have
like,
a big reaction.
Yeah, will have a big reaction, and it'll like there will be a reason why it's like fitting into your story.
Yeah, I was gonna say like to tie that in to a thing that happens at the end of Act 1 that like if you know what I'm talking about, if you know what I'm talking about, like that's something that I think makes a lot of sense for Rosalind's character as a subversion of things that she needs to learn and unlearn. Like if you look at, you know, it's a lot about like what characters need versus what they want, and like a lot of the time I think giving a character what they need but what might be more difficult is the really satisfying thing. But yeah. I was also asked character theme tune / entrance music, to which I will say playlists are on Patreon.
Yeah. I've got more to add on to
Me
Patreon.
too.
It's my playlist.
I haven't, and I didn't realise I hadn't. I thought I'd uploaded it, but I think I like saved it as a draft or something. But I'll put that up.
Can I say, because I know what Agatha's theme tune is.
Oh, no, you've got an actual theme. Because I'm like mine. The way I treat music is so specific, and like all my playlists are for really specific things that like I can't say a thing.
I've been
you know?
Because I like my Spotify playlist. Turns out I can't like edit like the order it goes into because I don't have premium. But what would be the top thing, like the opening to Agatha, would be the Leftovers theme tune by Max Richter.
Oh,
so
good composer. Yeah.
So that
I like that a lot.
So the opening to the Leftovers, I feel like, is Agatha's opening.
I like that.
Yeah.
I don't really know what Talia's is. Talia's playlists are everywhere.
But this is what I mean.
But it is like heavy battle,
music.
like epic fantasy.
Yeah.
Battle time.
Yeah.
Usually with like a lot of sadness in it.
Yeah. All of my Rosalind songs are just like really intense sad girl music. But like, yeah, I'm gonna add
Talia's playlist one, sorry, cutting you off. Some of Talia's playlist one is so
emo.
emo.
Yeah.
It's so. Some of her music, if you do get Patreon and you do want to listen to her playlist, like some of it really is, you really remember that she is a teenager.
Yeah.
Because it's so emo.
My playlist is also very emo.
Yeah. Rosalind's is just sad. Like,
because I feel like my Agatha playlist is what if Agatha was like born the same time as me, that would be the music that she listens to on repeat.
Yeah.
So it's very modern in that sense.
I'm gonna update. I'm gonna post a lot more, I think, on Patreon of the music, because I know we've both got like new playlists and we've got so much more music. Because I know that, like, for me, and I know it's the same for you. Like, I tend to add music based on like what is happening in the game and how she's changing, because it helps me get into character, and like it's what I listen to get into character. And I know you've got yours that I need to put up. Yeah. And yeah, I know there's a lot. So I'm gonna this isn't really even an answer to your question, but like I'm just gonna put more music on Patreon for everyone. So yeah. I don't really have a theme though. So yeah.
They asked a question which I think is too early to answer.
Oh.
I mean, that's a question that can be answered at the end of the campaign when it happens.
Wow, okay.
They did ask, it's something for you to think about, which we already do anyway. 10 years from now, when the heroes have won, would Talia and Rosalind try to live their life together while still maintaining their links to family and society? Or will they escape to live somewhere on their own together?
Interesting.
But I think we'll pass on that question. I just want to read it out.
I think we should.
I just want to say that's a big journey.
Yeah.
And I think for Rosalind especially, that's a journey she has to go on, and I don't know where she'll be at the end of the campaign with that journey.
I think it depends on things that happen and how things go, and whether they're still both alive.
That's what I was going to say.
But even if they are, like, it depends on so many factors that we've not encountered yet. Yeah. That I don't think there is a way of us answering that.
Yeah. Any time I think about Rosalind and her family, I really don't know what way it will go. So it will be what it will be and what way the campaign decides to take it.
Okay, do we have any other good questions?
I have some questions written out. Will you wear wigs?
I wore
Have you worn wigs?
No, I have not.
When will you wear wigs?
I think actually
wait, you've done it the wrong way round.
When will you wear wigs?
Wait, do it again. Come on.
Do you wear wigs?
No, I do not.
Have you worn wigs?
No, I have not.
You are a beautiful man. A beautiful man. Will you wear wigs?
Maybe.
When will you wear wigs?
I did it. Yeah, but it was accurate.
So you actually did spend you spent the first bit of the campaign in a wig.
Yeah.
And you hated it.
Hated it. Although, turns out, I don't know if it's phantom wig or if it's a tension headache, or if the wig causes a tension headache.
That's also possible, I guess. Yeah.
But anybody who likes the wig, I'm so sorry, that's not happening anymore. Now that I've stopped wearing it, there's no reason for me to put it back on.
Taya.
What? Maijai asked.
Maijai. Okay.
Also, I tried to put the wig on for the photo shoot that we did for Act 2, and it just doesn't work anymore. It looks so wrong, and I think it just doesn't look like the Talia that we now know. One, because I don't wear the wig when we're playing anymore. Two, because the wig actually isn't what her hair looks like.
Yeah, that's the big thing for me.
Yeah, like she's more ginger and it's bigger and it's curlier.
It's like coarse curls. It's not like loose waves. Yeah. You know, it's not like
so
that.
It's just wrong. Like, I know exactly what her hair looks like, and it's more Meredith from Brave than it is what I was wearing.
Than like beach waves.
Yeah. So anybody who liked the wig, I apologise. Didn't Mum Attack say bring back the wig at some point?
I don't know.
Like, please never bring back the wig.
Maybe I'll bring back the wig.
If you want to see DM in wig.
When I play your mother again.
I think that might...
Wow.
Do it.
We'd all cry.
But you'd have to do it for the whole episode, so...
No, I'll just do it for the moment.
No, because it has to look right.
It does.
If you want to see me in the wig, we're doing Spitfire, and I wear the wig in Spitfire.
That's true. But yeah, wig is done.
I don't like wearing wigs.
Why are we answering this?
I lost my wig cap, and now that I have hair, it's really hard to like put all of my hair into it.
I get very overwhelmed with my actual hair, so let alone having another set of hair.
Yeah,
Another set of hair.
There's a reason I cut all my hair off.
Yeah. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
You need to tell us what's going on in the chat because my phone's dead.
DM.
Yeah, nothing at the moment.
All right.
Oh.
So now I guess if that's that, I guess we can talk about anything spoilery. If Lyndon wants to go back to his point he was going to make.
Yeah, so anyone who, I mean...
No, because I already made my point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But if anybody has any questions about
anything
Act 1,
relating specifically to, like, end of Act 1 going into Act 2, or, like, anything that is spoilers... We will say spoilers are happening from now on.
Stop watching if
Get
you
off
haven't
if
seen
you
the end of Act 1.
And if you don't intend to. Because this is the other thing. Like, I have obviously just posted the Act 1 recap video on YouTube, which means anybody who can't commit to binging it all but wants to join in for Act 2, you can watch that. And hopefully it gives you all the plot points you need to catch up. And anything that you don't understand or don't know, you'll pick up, or you can message Damsels on any of our socials and we'll chat.
And you can also just put it, if you put it in like the Twitch chat being like, I don't understand what's going on.
Someone will explain it to you. Yeah.
Like,
but yeah. Anything moving forward now is spoiler territory. You understand what you are agreeing to.
Taya asked if we'll be seeing more of our fabulous monk in Act 2. And I think we can say yes.
I think we can confirm we brought her in and we realised very quickly her arc was not over with us. And I think, she sees her arc through. That's what I can say. She is around for as long as it is correct that she's around.
Yeah.
So it's great and it's amazing and we love having her.
I love her.
Same.
Oh my god, I love her so much.
Mary Ann Calvert.
You said her
my
name
icon.
right.
I always say her name
know.
right. Lyndon it doesn't.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
I love her so much.
And I love Kitta.
I love Kitta.
Yeah.
Kitta did such a good job. Like, oh my god, we really brought Kitta in and like she just knew exactly what to do and what we all needed. But the rest of the arc with her is you're gonna love it.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
I love her so much.
Yeah.
We thought that we might be playing again tomorrow. Now we're not for till the end of the month, and I'm really sad that we're not playing again because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Oh
But
well.
there's some crazy stuff happening in Act 2, guys. Like, honestly, I can't say anything.
But it might be the best entertainment of the whole campaign has just happened. in my opinion.
The thing that has just happened is really like we're all gagged. Like,
Yeah.
I never thought this would be the arc we would be in ever, you know?
Yeah.
Crazy time.
Would it be spoilers to say about a certain reaction, a way I reacted?
Probably. No, I just think that we shouldn't say that
Okay.
because I think it is.
Okay.
It's
like-
so good. I think we should save it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, playing for 10 hours straight
That was mental.
was mental.
But I want to do it again.
No, same.
I'm like, that was actually really good.
But like, that was so intense. When we finished that,
The moon ball was
we were really
Yeah.
to put it in perspective, because obviously you guys are where we're at. Because when we finished filming the moon ball, so we filmed the moon ball in 10 hours, all 3 episodes of it. We didn't know how many episodes it would get cut into, but we knew we were going to see the whole arc through and finish Act 1 that day.
Yeah.
And we did. And then Lyndon went away for a month.
Yeah.
So we didn't play for like a month and a half. And that was what we had just left it on. And when I say I was emotionally distraught for the entire month, and I'm really like, I guess that's like to an extent, to a smaller extent, what the audience have just been through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sevi asks, thoughts and feelings on getting potential fan edits, or
Oh my god,
Yes, please.
or maybe a bingo stroke a drinking game.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Or, so I'll cry. If anyone makes fan content, I'll cry.
I will fob.
We've had one fan video edit made of Talia and Rosalind, and the amount I watch it is ungodly.
Yeah,
and
I watch it
embarrassing,
far too much.
and I cry. I just like it's just such a bonkers thing to know and see reflected back at you that a story and characters that mean something to you and matter so much have like impacted somebody to the point that they want to make something about it. Like, I'm gonna cry actually talking about it. I need to stop talking.
No, because
Like,
really,
really.
like,
I'm embarrassing.
So me and Taya spoke like before we even started Damsels, and we were like, we will really know that we've made it and we're doing everything that we want if anybody ever does like any edit, like any fan art, anything to that, like anything like that. We were really like, oh, we've made it, we've done what we wanted to do, and I will really just cry forever. But it's really all I want in the world. And at the moment, like, my TikTok feed is so full of people being like, oh, when my like main thing is my own D&D character, so if I want fan art, I've got to do it myself. And like the fact that there is a chance that like we might actually have people make fan art for us, which like isn't expected, but like we've had people like mention it before.
Yeah.
And I'm really just like,
the edit I really do watch all the time.
I really watch it so much. But yeah, it's mental actually.
Yeah.
We were going to do a bingo thing for
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So we had
time.
planned, so for our UKGE show, we ran out of time to do it, but we were going to make a bingo card for us. So obviously for UKGE we were playing different characters and it was a different world, so we couldn't do any of the in-character Damsels D&D stuff. I mean Demons and Daughters. But like we had all of our stuff, so we had People Said Cool Back Then, we had like Morne spilling a drink was gonna be on there. Like anytime me and Maijai just react by opening our mouths insanely wide, like all of like our us things were gonna be on there. But like a Demons and Daughters one would be fun because the characters are so specific.
Yeah.
Like imagine taking a shot anytime I was like, goodness. Like
Take a
you'd be
shot
so drunk.
anytime Talia spits at a man.
Yeah.
Take a shot every time Agatha doesn't speak and you're flat out drunk.
Yeah. Take a shot every time Talia glares.
Ooh,
Just
gosh.
hugging the whole
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, I just would like to just drink during the show. So everyone should just drink when I drink, and then we can all encourage each other to
Chaos.
drink more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your boy Dingus. Yeah, boy. I believe it's pronounced. To use the native expression. What is the reveal that shocked you guys the most in the last few episodes?
Can I just say, your boy Dingus, you finished the show then, or you don't care about spoilers? Because last time we talked, you hadn't, and you're still here.
Yeah, but last time they like were starting Moonball.
Yeah, that's true.
We're on to you.
Just waiting to see if they reply about spoilers. And
Fred.
No, they've been warned.
Yeah.
You can answer your
True,
question.
yeah.
This is now the
Biggest
spoiler
reveal.
zone.
The Viscount.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
yeah.
For me,
But-
the Viscount more than
They have finished.
yeah. For the Viscount more than Harold for me, because I was like, this is a 3-act show and we're looking for 3 dads.
Yeah.
Mine
So,
wasn't
like-
that the Viscount was against us, it was how powerful
Yeah.
he was.
This is what I mean when I say the Viscount. Because when you said, I honestly, I will never, ever not viscerally feel some extent of the feelings that went through me. I remember your word choices for everything you said. First about the reveal and then about the hand. So, like in my word, I can repeat to you the whole scene word for word what Lyndon said, because I was so rocked to my core. And it's such a strange thing because as Taya, I knew from the start there was the potential that the Viscount was a bad guy, was entangled in all the magic stuff, because I came up with the concept of the Viscount myself. And it was because Lyndon was like, all right, Rosalind, give me a list of suitors to like just as NPCs to play with. And I created a bunch, and then I was like, okay, and there should be one that she's kind of taking seriously. And so I came up with, you know, he was a Viscount, and I came up with the way they met at this dinner that he was at with her family, and that they'd started writing to each other. And then I gave it to Lyndon, and I was like, do what you want with him, because Rosalind doesn't know what he is. And, you know, she is really naive and very blindly trusting when you meet her at the start. And so I knew from the start, I was basically like, you can make him really boring and normal. You can make him a cunt, but like in a normal way. You could make him a magic user. You could make him a villain. You can make him an ally, like anything. And then just the more we played and interacted with the Viscount, the more you just got me convinced that he was just an annoying, normal guy. And even though I should have known, I think Rosalind's like Rosalind took me over. And then, yeah, even when I thought about him potentially being magical or powerful, I never thought he would be that much higher up than us.
Yeah.
Because it was when you said cast dimension door and disappear, like the feelings that went through me, like I can feel them now. But then I just remember you turning to Kitcher and being like, that is a high level spell.
Yeah.
Like that is a high level spell.
Yeah.
And then even like the way you did it, because when he said, I'm terribly sorry, but I really must have your hand, there was a split second. I don't know, did the whole table think he was proposing for a second? I did, because I was so confused. In the moment, first of all, I was like, has he just saved my life? I was like, what? Because for a second, and that's the thing I think that hurts the most, is like, for a second, I really thought he'd saved me. And I didn't know why, and I didn't know why he'd lied, and like all of these things. But for the first split second, I was like, oh, he took me away from it when it was going to kill me. And then I realised why he did that. And then, yeah, when you said that, I was like, has he done that to propose? Like, that doesn't make any sense. And then when you said what you said, I don't think I've ever been more gagged in my life, like, honestly. Because, yeah, someone else talk.
And then follow-up question was the reveal improv or was it scripted speech? And yes, that was ready to happen from, like, the moment the Viscount opened the door, from the very beginning, basically. He was always going to take that hand.
Now that's scary to know, because, like, the fact that, like, that particular line was in Lyndon's head, like, before the campaign even started.
No, yeah, sure. But at the beginning.
From when we met him, basically,
yeah,
I think,
that
like,
is
in episode
scary.
6 or whatever.
Because that means
Episode
that
6.
everything the Viscount did from the moment we met him was premeditated.
And it was one of those, I think, because we had a month, you know, after we played Moonball and then, like, started filming Act 2, it was one for me where, like, I rewatched a bunch of the scenes with the Viscount in from the start, and I was like, oh my god, he looks at the ring so much. Like, if you go back and look at the episodes, like, you can see who he is from the start. Lyndon did play it truthfully to the Viscount, and I think it's so fascinating. And I mean, I'm not going to go into it because you'll see it through Act 2, the way Rosalind works through her feelings about it all. But, like, it is such a deep, deep betrayal. Like, it's not even a betrayal because he was never on our side, but, like, because it's even going beyond the boundaries of the game. This is a man Rosalind's known for 2 years, like, and has to some level trusted. And yeah, it's crazy how much. But, like, when you dropped that line, like, after the episode, I was like, oh, you've workshopped that, because it was perfect. Like, that is such a cinematic line, given the Viscount and Rosalind's relationship until that point.
I like the idea of Lyndon looking at himself in the mirror, trying to say that line.
He's like, I'm terribly sorry.
Yeah.
I'm terribly sorry.
I did practice it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Did you? That's so cute. But yeah, I took over that conversation. You guys didn't even answer what reveal surprised you the most.
But I don't know, because I feel like out of everything, that was the thing. Because I always had like a, I don't know, because as Morne, I never trusted the Viscount, but I know that Agatha was a bit on the fence about it. But I never expected that to happen. I kind of assumed that maybe there would be a betrayal of some sort. I was not expecting a disconnect.
Do you know what else really had me gagged, actually? And it wasn't even at the end. It wasn't even in the finale, because that obviously was a really big one. But, like, I always knew that he was going to be a bad guy. So, like, the one that did really get me was
Nigel.
Jonathan knowing about everything.
That
That's
was
not something that I
ever considered.
Yeah.
Which is dumb.
I made you angry.
Huh?
I made you angry.
Well, obviously,
Very fun.
But, like,
no, that was huge.
that's just, it's not one that, because, like, the Viscount is one that all of us had considered.
Yeah.
And, like we all knew there was the potential that he was going to end up being a bad guy, because it's too, like, juicy not to. But, like, with Jonathan, like, I think we'd sort of said it about it before, but it was really like, oh, but that just like wouldn't happen.
Yeah.
That one I really was
Gagged.
because I came out of my dream world and like Jonathan was there.
Yeah.
And that really shook me, and the instant feeling that I had, because I think actually you had told me in the dream world.
Yeah.
But the response that I had to it really makes me just be like, that is one of the biggest surprises that we've come across.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, as both Talia and as me, because like I said, like we all knew that the Viscount could have been,
Jonathan
but
knowing
none of
everything. Yeah.
I just put lip balm on my finger and then use the same finger to close the lid. Dumbass. But yeah, that was a good one. That was a really good one.
That really had us shook, actually.
Yeah.
If your character were to have a catchphrase, what would it be?
Goodness.
Onwards. Mine
Sits
was
in silence.
You've got guns, you've got to have a good catchphrase. Sometimes have some phrase.
Don't mess with the Michael.
No, when we were doing our photo shoot the other day, speaking of Pulp Fiction again, I did a Pulp Fiction thing about the Royale with cheese.
I was like, Morne, give me a gunslinger shot.
And I was just like, do you know what they call a quarter pounder with cheese in France? A Royale with cheese. Because of the metric system.
I love it.
No, what Talia's catchphrase?
I don't know. Because I feel like a cool thing for Agatha to do. Like, okay, hypothetically, if I was to shoot Jonathan, I would only do. Jonathan would say a word wrong. Agatha would correct him and be like, actually, like, actually, zealousy is not a word. It's zeal.
Yeah. No,
Like,
I was just gonna say, I know it's like not really a catchphrase, but in terms of like iconic lines that I think slayed, I hope she's worried sick.
I hope she's worried sick.
That was good. And I have a dress to pick was very slay from Rosalind, to be honest, back in the day. But like, really, Rosalind's catchphrase is just goodness. She really just says goodness to everything. Goodness.
Talia's really just like, Talia's catchphrase is,
it is.
I feel like I say, all right.
You do.
I had onwards for a bit.
Yeah.
But that wasn't.
But that was definitely a trial thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talia just like
glares.
Talia just glares and is like, why? What makes you there? Oh no, Talia's is very like, it's something about like, what are you gonna do to stop me?
It is, yeah. She always does that.
Like her catchphrase is.
It's always a variation of what are you gonna do to stop me.
Yeah, it's like her catchphrase is.
Talia's catchphrase would just be a scathing look.
That's what I was saying. Like she really is just like.
Yeah.
I can't even recreate her glare because it's so much.
Yeah.
Last question, I reckon.
Okay.
From me, what are you looking forward to?
Oh.
What are you hoping for? Yeah, that's better. What are you hoping for in Act 2?
I'm not telling you anything about my hopes because you're going to be like, okay, no, this is how I destroy that hope.
I would do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you could answer the question. Someone asked it on the chat.
But I also do think it's a good question. And I think just going off of where we left her in Act 1, I think Act 2 has the potential to be the bulk of Rosalind's growth arc.
Yeah.
I think for Rosalind, this could be the consolidation of everything she's ever had to learn and unlearn. That's going to be a really horrible and difficult journey. But I really think this is the act that will make or break her as a person.
Yeah.
Like, if she comes through this, she's going to have come through it having to have unlearned all of the toxic things that she believes about herself, about the world, about her family, about everything. And I think given the opportunity and like if she goes down good paths with it, she has the potential to really become I don't know how to say it in a really non-cheesy way, but like she really has the opportunity to step into being like an empowered Rosalind and a like independent and a whole Rosalind.
I think that's true of all of them, because my thought has always sort of been like Act 1 is it's all very new, and then Act 3 it's like
finale.
Yeah.
You know, we're powerful
We're the
now.
heroes,
We're fighting
yeah.
demons. We're like doing like fantasy adventure
Yes,
stuff.
yeah.
So this is their transition from
Yeah.
having no power and knowing nothing to finding
Being
their
the
power.
powerful ones.
And like finding the way that the three of them work together, getting the three of
Yes.
them as like a
A
cohesive team.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I think this is where they work through
Yeah.
the majority
Yeah,
of
their issues.
Yeah. I agree with that. I think we do need to work as a team, but I think Agatha just needs to like learn how to be by herself a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in this campaign she's either relying on you two or relying on Albert.
But that's what I mean. I think
So
they're
I
all
think-
gonna find
yeah.
themselves.
I think
she needs to have some time to herself and like
I want to see a leadership arc for Agatha.
Yeah.
I want to see Agatha like have to step up like that because I think she has a lot of potential.
yeah.
But I really think that like I think this is where they find who they are and how they are.
And how they function as
Yeah.
a team.
I think that might be
Awful and horrible. to go
really,
through.
really scary at first, considering like the amount of like the different types of trauma the three of us have gone through, having to accept that, and
I just want us to be bad bitches by the end of this arc.
Yeah.
we're gonna
You
be bad
know?
bitches. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's gonna take some time, and like maybe
Yes.
they won't get over it, but at least they'll come to accept it and like
Yeah.
Yeah.
And be empowered about it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
So that is my hope.
Yeah.
yeah. That's mine as well.
So yeah, I think that is a really nice place to leave this little hangout.
Yeah.
Unless anyone has any last minute burning questions.
How long have we been going for?
A long time, I think.
Yeah.
3
If
hours.
you've been here the whole time, that's like
Thank you
amazing.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
god.
much.
you.
Why are you so interested in our ramblings? I'm grateful for it. That's so cool.
They literally we basically just did a mukbang.
We kind of did a
Yeah.
mukbang, yeah. I also really need a wee. The fact I've not peed in this long is so impressive for me.
I have been looking out the window being like, it's getting dark and I need to drive back home. But it's fine.
Yeah. But,
I will just cope.
But thank you so much.
Yes.
It honestly
Yeah.
like means the world to know that people care about our show and like the art we make and
Yeah.
I love you all
so much to us.
Like it's really special and I'm really, really grateful. And I hope that this was fun for you and gave you some insights and has got you really excited about next Wednesday. 'Cause,
Yeah.
oh my god.
And maybe we'll do it again sometime.
Maybe we
Yeah.
will. Maybe at the end of Act 2 we'll come back and
we'll
do this
another
again.
one of these.
That'll be so much fun.
But yeah, thank you for being here. We love you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thanks to
thank
all
you
of our
patrons
patrons
for supporting
stuff.
us. But you know, you all support us by
yeah.
being here and enjoying the show because wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And thank you, Rainbow Roll Fest
Yes.
gang.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Because I realised that we've gotten this far and we haven't talked about it yet, but like that was a crazy time and we really didn't expect that.
Yeah.
We didn't expect any of it. But I guess we're officially a selection of the New Jersey Web Fest this year. So that's insane.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to everybody who was a part of that. And yeah, just thank you to the whole team for like, I guess, seeing something in our work, which is like more than you could ever hope for when you make something are vulnerable enough to put it online. I'm actually like gonna cry, so
It means a lot.
Yeah.
And
Until-
thank you for the tea.
Nice.
Talking about the tea.
Oh,
Ah,
yes. Oh my god,
It was so
thank you.
good.
It was so good.
I can't wait to drink more.
Oh
of
my
that.
god, I want to like. The thing is, I am so this sorcerer tea. I'm so obsessed with. I'm gonna want to drink like immediately, but I want to save some so I can have some as Rosalind next
Yeah.
time we play.
yeah.
Because like I want my
I
sorcerer
want
tea while we're
some fighter
playing.
tea next time we're playing.
Nice.
Yeah, and
Um,
thank you for just sending us the bonuses because that's
Yeah.
the sweetest
Yes.
thing ever. And thank you for your patience because
It's
It
been
your
a
way
while.
all the time.
but it was so worth the wait because they were so delicious
They
and
were.
we
Yeah.
will be recommending
I'm
you to everyone.
Also
genuinely.
very happy I finally got to use this teapot. This has been in the cupboard
For so long.
for a few months now.
Yeah.
Just waiting to be used.
Uh-huh.
I wanted to use it
Little
for this
squirrel
occasion.
Thomas and Agatha.
Yeah. Cute.
Yeah.
I think
Until
that's-
next time.
we'll see you next week.
yeah.
For Act
for
2
Act
of
2.
Demons and
Episode
Daughters.
1 of Act 2.
Yeah.
Until
Wow.
then,
Thank you so much.
thank you.
Mwah.
And submissive
And
and
subscribable.
subscribable. Mwah.